Oh, coming back at you from the first time in a while. Hello, everyone. It's Ships Worldwide, our podcast.
Your name is Ships Worldwide?
Well, our name. Did I say my name?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really embarrassing. Hi, Adrian. I can't see you.
I can't see you either.
Because we changed to a brand new format. The format being distance over us Discord.
Yes.
Because there's stuff happening in the world that we're not allowed to talk about on YouTube. But let's just say you probably know about it. And if not, Google the year 2020 and you'll see exactly what it is. We're back. A lot has happened since we've been together last time.
That's an understatement.
It's a bit of an understatement. Boy, we sure picked a time to go from, hey, we need to take a week break to, we need another week break to, oh no, oh geez, everything has gone wrong.
And everyone's probably, go ahead.
I was going to say, but we're not here for that.
Well, we just want to address the fact that our Twitter is suspended for some reason.
Yeah, I think that's because I did one too many bad Twitter jokes. There was one where I just took a...
How did it connect to Ships then?
I think it's just the fact I had them both on my phone.
Huh.
Because, like on Twitter, you can log into multiple accounts at once. And so when I tweeted a picture of Wurmple from Pokemon and said that he will destroy COVID, it didn't like that. So, has our account been reinstated yet?
Let me check. I don't think it has.
It might not be. Well, we're working on that, though. So for now, you might just have to stick with our Twitters until that comes back.
Still suspended.
But that's wild. But I guess that's the internet now. Lawless wasteland.
That's why we announced the return on your YouTube channel.
Yes, because there was nowhere else to do it for. But yeah, we're back. And as we said, we are now doing it over Discord. So there's no longer any situations where we will look at each other because, we'll have to explain something because we can't do that.
No.
We have no video whatsoever. It is just the audio.
We don't know how long this is going to last, but
no one does, not even the government. So we'll see how long this lasts. I mean, at a certain point, we're going camping, though. So, yeah. I mean, that's unavoidable. But just for now, just so that we don't worry too much. I mean, we both live in houses with multiple people, so just for the safe side.
I also work a retail job, so.
That's true. My job does not involve me coming in contact with anyone anymore.
That must be fun.
Which is kind of nice, but it's not when they're like, we can't log in. And it's like, I've literally made the login for you and sent it to you and tried your logins on my computer and they work. So... Also, it's kind of tough to talk to some people over the internet because 10-year-olds, rather, not 10th graders, but 10-year-olds don't have the best typing ability. So sometimes they ask you a question and I just look at it like, what are you asking me?
It's like a riddle. It's like a game.
It is sometimes because they'll say something and I'm like, I don't know what you mean. And it's like, oh, you used our, H-O-U-R instead of R, A-R-E. And it's like, well, that changes the context greatly. But otherwise, I'm actually nearly done. This is the last month before summer vacation, so I am just gliding over till the end, pretty much.
Gliding overall.
Yeah, because it's just like...
That's a reference to Breaking Bad.
Oh, we'll get to that. Okay. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's been a different time It's been a very hard time for some things and a monumentally easy one for others. For the easiest time for me was when they basically said, we're going to need to give you guys about 2.5 weeks to learn how to use computers to do online teaching. And I'm like,
oh yeah.
Well, I guess that's a 2.5 week break for me, because it's ridiculous how there's some people who are like needing tutorials on how to like make a Google Doc. And here I am, I like made videos and lessons and all this cool stuff. So it's honestly going pretty good for me. It's just, you know, dealing with stuff that is not under my control.
Yeah, like when this all first started, it was, that week was especially bad. And well, like one of my roommates got told to quarantine and then freaked out at work, so I had to go home, and then I was at home all week not being able to work, and I'm a very very routine oriented person, and not being able to follow my basic routine drove me nearly insane. But it all turned out okay in the end. I just pressed. I just pressed the key and I was like scared.
Scared it all broke.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good time to move over. Adrian, what are you using right now?
Oh my god, I'm using a new PC of mine that I built. Yes. So we couldn't go on our vacation this year, obviously, because of the world, and I decided, hey, I have all this money saved up, and I'll probably have more if I saved up some more next year, but I decided to put that money towards a brand new PC. And it's right here beside me. I'm observing its beauty. It's very sleek and matte. I just rubbed it.
That's good. I don't like shiny ones. Get something matte. Matte is so much nicer. Mine is also matte. I'm also rubbing mine.
Well, it took like 4 hours to build.
That's really not bad.
No. And I thought I was like, when I was first building, I'm like, this is impossible. But basically it's just you follow a YouTube video and it's pretty much done.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, that's basically building anything nowadays. Yeah. It's like, you don't need to be taught how to do it. Just pop on a YouTube video and some guy will be there, you know, mumbling into his microphone telling you how to do it.
But then like the next day I'm like, oh, I'm so ready. I'm like using my computer and everything. I'm talking on Discord. I have a time of my life. Then the internet just shits itself. Like on my, not like in the general area, just on this computer specifically. And it's like, this is the exact same thing that's been happening, or what happened to my Mac, which I wish I could have destroyed that thing, but I had to give it back to my parents. But anyways, I was like freaking out. It's like 12, it's at midnight. I'm like, I just want this goddamn thing to work. And then like I spent 3 hours with one of our previous guests, Nino. He's very
good guy.
He's very tech oriented. He basically works as like one of the tech guys.
New Nino lore gained.
You didn't know that?
No.
He's just a very tech oriented person. Shout outs to you, Nino. You are the man.
But that explains so much that he's Geek Squad.
He is the Geek Squad. But troubleshot.
I think it'd be troubleshooted actually, because you wouldn't say troubleshot.
Troubleshoot is a full word, right, on its own.
Yeah.
Whatever. Then we realized like, okay, it's not this, or this. It's probably the most inconvenient thing, and it was. So I had to move this entire setup, the PC, the monitor, and the keyboard, everything, to the other room in the living room, right beside the router, because the only Ethernet cable I had was 2 feet long. So I had to plug it all in. And the problem was like we had to install a bunch of drivers onto the video card and the Wi-Fi card. But I couldn't do that with no Wi-Fi. So that's why I had to move the entire thing over right beside the router. But now I'm so happy to have like a computer that actually functions and that can actually like stay connected to the internet more than 5 minutes at a time.
Have you heard of a power line router?
Yes, but that's not possible here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Well, that's what I
that's
what I had. For,
power line adapter is what it's called, actually.
Yeah, that's what I had for my PS4 back at when I used to live with my parents.
Yeah, that's a amazing piece of technology that sadly doesn't work for everywhere.
Yeah, it's like it just it pretends it's an Ethernet connection, and it's amazing.
Well, literally, what it just is your internet goes through your electricity.
Yeah,
which is like, oh, okay, I guess that's how it works. Sure, and it works.
That's the thing I wanted to do for my PS4 here, but like, I've tried plugging in things more than I already have plugged in right now into the wall or anything into like a what are those things called? Having a brain fart here, where you plug a bunch of things into one thing.
Oh, like a power bar?
Yeah, power bar, and it just flips the breaker here, and I can't plug anything out. I do have like a 4K TV, like 3 consoles hooked up on that side, so it's probably why.
Yeah, I have so many power bars. I have so many power bars with so much plugged in. It's actually probably really bad, but at the same time, whatever happens, happens. But of course, we live in very different types of houses right now.
Yeah, you live in an actual big house, and I'm in a tiny apartment. Not tiny. Oh yeah, sorry. I just had to move.
Did you just spill water?
No, I just moved. I just got comfortable. I'm gonna be here.
Oh, I see. Okay. See, this is a change. I can't see what happens when I hear Adrian make a noise. I just have to assume he spilled water again.
Like, apologies if anything goes wrong. I don't know if my volume's too high right now. It looks normal.
Good news is I can edit that in post very easily.
Okay.
When it's two separate audio files, I can crank you the hell up. Awesome. I even have programs that I can go in and make it go even further beyond.
Well, things about audio that I just want to get this out of the way. So I bought a mic a long time ago, just for, I wanted to like stream. I think I borrowed your laptop, not laptop, but capture card, and I wanted to.
Yeah, you borrowed my capture card. Yep.
Have a mic to stream Metal Gear Solid. So I had this mic, and I took it out again when I built this PC because I'm obviously going to use it as I am now. And then I'm like, I tested it with Nino and then you. And I'm like, can you hear me? Oh, no, I tested it with you first.
Yeah, with me first.
And you're like, you're a bit echoey, but you're pretty good. And I'm like...
I thought it was honestly like a really crappy microphone, but was too afraid to say it.
But I had the... what's this thing called? The
spit guard.
The spit guard. I just tapped it, and it made it really loud. Not a spit guard.
Breathing guard.
No. It's
noise filter. Pop filter.
Pop filter. Yeah. I had it on the wrong side of the microphone. So that's why it was echoey.
Meaning he was speaking into the back of the microphone. Meaning his sound was going around the microphone and whatever residual sound was left would go in, which made it sound really bad.
And I told you this over text and you replied, ha ha ha, but I knew you were like dying of laughter.
Oh yeah, no, but it was pretty obvious that either that was the worst mic ever or something went wrong.
Yeah, good thing it went wrong because like when I fixed it, you heard me perfectly clear. So
yeah,
but yeah, that's computer talk. Yeah, I have a keyboard that's very colorful, and it's cool. It was $90 off, so I decided to pick that up right away.
That's a deal.
Yeah.
So have you played any cool games on it for the first time?
VR chat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's it's why I built the PC. No.
Really?
No, it's no, it's a joke, but I meant like
okay, sorry. I couldn't see your face. We're over the internet.
Of course, but we've got to adjust.
Yep.
Well, it's like when I got the laptop all those like a year and a half ago, I'm like, I want to play VR chat. It's like it looks so fun. And then I had it pre-installed on Steam already, so I decided to download it and play it. And it's just the wackiest stuff. Like there's like, I went to this club and Jotaro was on the strip pole, and and I was just sitting down, and then you from Persona 4 sits beside me and says, "Hey, what's up, man?" And I was not a Dachi, Dojima. So it's like we obviously got started talking, and then a guy a guy from Halo Reach, like just a general soldier, comes up, walks to me, writes something down on his pad, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Just taking notes. Don't mind me." And then you see John Wick walk into the club, and I'm like, "Oh God, let's get out of here, guys." It's I can't wait to play more of it. It's like it is.
It's like what Ready Player One should have been.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I love it.
I honestly want some really good VR chat people to just go and remake Ready Player One in VR chat. Just like with the crappy models and weird stilted movements looking exactly as they would.
Yeah, there are some animations that aren't complete, so it's just basically them like jumping up and down without moving their limbs, and it's hilarious.
Yep. And those that don't have any sort of like you can tell there's some players who have like face rigs and full hand articulation stuff, and then there's the ones who don't even have VR.
Well, I don't have VR, so
yeah, I know, but it's like you can tell the difference between VR and non-VR players because it looks totally different.
Mm-hmm. But besides that, I got a code for Tekken 7, but it's like 78 gigabytes.
It's a big game.
So I also
Harada tweeted about that, and he said that they're looking into making it so you don't have to install story mode, because that's actually the bulk of the data. So you can just install the verses, which would be quite smaller.
Oh, maybe I'll do that then. But before like running any of those intensive games, I want to get some fans installed into the rig.
It's a good idea.
Because there's one for the processor, and I think like an Acer or Asus one. Oh, my monitor just turned off.
Well, the good news is we're still going.
I think it was just like standby mode.
Okay. Yeah, some of them do that where if nothing changes for a bit.
I don't know. I'll change that later. Anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically it for computer stuff. I don't want to spend an hour talking about it, so...
But just basically, you have a computer, and now you can do all sorts of computer stuff, like emulate JoJo on the PS1.
Yes, that was fun.
It was a fun little stream.
I'm happy to be able to play that now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I want to get into streaming eventually, and like video editing, and see where that takes me.
Yep, you need a PC for that. And please note my language. I didn't say computer. PC.
I forgot. There's like one more thing. Oh yeah, my monitor is a Acer 144 hertz, so I can run that 60 frames per second stuff.
You can actually run 120 frames per second stuff.
There you go. No wonder this thing is so expensive. If you want to be one of
those PC gamers who are like, I only play games that have an unlimited frame rate, so I can see everything moving in real time. It's like, okay. Sure.
I'll only play Minecraft on this, though.
It gets a super expensive PC for something you can play on a new 3DS.
Okay, I don't understand why Microsoft is pushing like 4K Minecraft so hard when showcasing the Series X.
Because it looked good, and that game sell good.
That's fair. That's entirely fair.
Mm-hmm.
Money matters most.
Oh, unfortunately. Yeah, obviously. That's their companies. That's what they care about.
Okay. Do you want to get into some video games, or you got some more life stuff you want to talk about?
I don't have any more real life stuff. I mean, other than I went to the dentist recently, and so I got a brand new appliance put in my mouth, which would normally be fine, except for the fact that it's right where I put my tongue to make SH sounds. So because of that, I had to reteach myself how to do the SH sound, which is not fun because I read for Let's Plays for a living. So I've made many a slip.
Did your teeth fall out or something?
No, it's because I've had behind my top 4 like front teeth, I've always had a metal bar. Just after I got my braces. It's a retainer. It's like a permanent retainer.
I have one of those too, so.
So I had them forever, but then right before the troubles happened, I had the, it actually like pop out. Oh. So it's like, oh dang. I went to the dentist, and the dentist is like, okay, look, you have a choice. You can either say no more retainer and, live without one for the rest of your life, but there is a probably pretty high chance your teeth will go back to a pre-braces state. And I'm like, I'm not putting in that money and time with braces for nothing. And he said, or we can put a new one in, but because it's him doing it and not the orthodontist, he said, I am a handyman. I treat the cement like other contractors treat, like cement at their work site. There will be a lot more in your mouth. There will be many blobs of it, as opposed to your finely and professionally done ones at the orthodontist. So I said, you know what? That's fine. I can live with that. So now I literally have on the back of each of my front teeth a big blob of cement holding in this new bar, which isn't too bad because I know that, like, as time goes on, they kind of get put down to just be like kind of part of the back of the teeth. But right now they're pretty big. They're pretty big blobs.
Does it like hinder your way to eat or something?
No. I mean, it's no different than the fact that I had one before. I had one in my whole life. It's just the only difference is pretty much now it's there's, the big blobs of cement as opposed to them kind of filed down. So
Okay.
Just those SH sounds. I literally now have to say SH without putting my tongue up there, which is tough because that's not how I said that sound before.
We all have to adjust in our own ways.
Yes, for the new normal.
All right.
Otherwise, let's talk about some games we've been playing.
Fate.
So, well, yeah, there's a lot on there, I know, but I won't go too much into it. Aside from one, because there's one really cool thing.
All right.
But the first game I have that I've been playing is the final release of One Step from Eden came out. So this is that sort of Mega Man Battle Network card battling sort of roguelike that I talked about on the podcast long ago. I got a Switch code for it, which is good and bad. Good because this game is now my go-to, like, all right, I have 20 minutes, let's go for a run of this sort of game. That's really good. The bad news is I've had it crash my Switch multiple times.
Really?
Usually, like, just an error occurred, application closed sort of crash. Most of the stuff, though, I have sent to the developer and he's patched out. The ability to, like, just, take the videos really helps for that. But that's the thing where it's like, so yeah, he documents that the crashes happen, but updating on the Switch takes a lot more time than updating on Steam. So it's like, oh man, now I have to like wait to get my game patched so I can actually play it. But dang, this game is real good. It is just a fast, sort of deck building roguelike. And it's like, yeah, you'll pop in a playthrough in like 15, 20 minutes and you can even pause during it. And it's just like, you try and find broken combinations and you hope to God you can beat the utterly ridiculous boss at the end. I came very close the last time. It's a dang good game though.
So you haven't finished it yet?
I haven't beat it. The game basically works though. There's a little bit of like progression where it's like no matter how far you get in a run, you do get experience that unlocks stuff for your next runs. You can also unlock like characters and costumes and stuff, but I have not beat it. It is really hard. I'm learned in the gameplay of Mega Man Battle Network. I played it quite a bit, but this is made by the people who play that series multiplayer competitively. It's sort of like the difference between playing, Brawl and playing with a game made by a Melee fan. The game made by the Melee fan is way tougher than just Brawl, right? So because of that, it's like, it's competitive style, like big hard stuff to deal with, but it's super awesome.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Other than that, I've been playing some Pokemon Go because they updated it so that it's like, what's that?
Pokemon Stay.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They've updated it, so now you can play a lot of it in your house.
Oh, so how does that work?
But that said, I still go out for walks with it, and they've had events over the last month, really, where it's like, hey, it's Gen 1 week. Go and get all these Gen 1 quests, and you'll get a Mewtwo. didn't have a Mewtwo. I was like, gotta get a Mewtwo. Gen 2 week was like, complete them all, get a Ho-Oh. Well, hey, I got a Ho-Oh. Gen 3 was complete them all and get a Groudon. And I'm like, oh, cool, I got a Kyogre, but I don't have a Groudon. Then Gen 4 was complete it all and get a Cresselia. And I'm like, oh, I mean, that's fine. But then that Cresselia I got just so happened to be shiny. So now I have a shiny legendary in Pokemon Go, which is pretty hype. But it's been good. They've actually... With the competitive multiplayer update, it's really interesting. Those battles have a surprising amount of depth to them. It's kind of weird. They're not like regular Pokemon Go battles like you do to get like the gyms and stuff. They're a totally different gameplay style, and it's all strategy. And it's really weird because it's like, you have like a normal attack and a charged attack, but every time you do a charged attack, you play a minigame to power it up, but your opponent during that time can use one of their 2 protect shields. Now, you only get 2 protect shields, and the question becomes like, do I use it for this charge attack? Because charge attacks are super powerful. But you can also switch out Pokemon, but you can only do that like every 30 seconds, which is a long time because it's not turn-based. It's like real time. It's a weird gameplay system with a surprising amount of depth. I got up to like rank 6 of 10 for like the competitive battle online recently. Pretty good. It's weird. It's a different sort of gameplay system.
Yeah, I haven't played Pokemon Go in like 2 years.
Honestly, I'm just playing it because I want to try and get a whole bunch of shinies for when they announce that you can transfer it to Pokemon Home and Pokemon Sword and Shield. That's like been announced that it's in the works, but I'm waiting for it to actually be made so I can bring those to a real Pokemon game.
Did they add Gen 4 Pokemon yet?
They're up to Gen 5.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, they're actually halfway through Gen 5. So they have all Pokemon from Gens 1 to 4. With about half of Gen 5 right now. They kind of do them in like spurts where they'll be like, we've added like 6 new Pokemon to get. Or, you know, if you... Actually, but here's the weird thing. They're up to Gen 5, but they added in all of the Alolan forms of the Gen 1 Pokemon. And they just announced that after... if you completed all 4 of the like Gen 1, 2, 3, 4 events, which I did, you're going to get the first shot at the Galarian form Pokemon. So even though the Galarian, they're not even done Gen 5, but you can get like the Gen 8 versions of, you know, like Coughing or Wheezing or like Corsola, right? So like all the ones that you could get in, like all the Galarian and Alolan forms you can get, but not the actual generation. So it's kind of weird. There's like not fully the generation, but like kind of they're there. It's cool, but weird.
They probably want that like relevancy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, every time a new Pokemon thing comes out, there's a new like tie-in for it. Yeah. Like they did tie-ins for Sword and Shield, Detective Pikachu, One Piece.
What?
There was a One Piece collab where you could get Pikachu with Luffy's cap, and you can, and all the events and quests were One Piece based. It was kind of cool.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, it was really cool. They make tons of like weird like promotional Pokemon that like can evolve, but like there's like, I think I have like 70 Pikachus each in different hats, because they'll just be like, hey, you can now catch Pikachu in a detective hat. Okay, you can now catch Pikachu in a Rayquaza hat because Rayquaza was the most voted Gen 3 favorite Pokemon. Okay, you know, stuff like that, right? So there's all sorts of promotional stuff. It's kind of cool. I like it. It's a good game. All right, now on to Fate.
All right, let me get comfortable.
Yeah, well, I don't have a ton to say for the first 2, other than that I have completed them or are working on them.
Which one?
The first one.
Which one of these is the mobile game?
Okay, that's the last one. We'll get to that one. So the first one there is Fate Zero. This is a TV show. It's a prequel to the original visual novel. And oh man, was that really good? Every time I see like a chart on like, you know, where do I go to, like what Fate should I look at? This one, they always list it as saying the closest thing to a live action American drama. And I'm like, what? No, that sounds stupid. And now that I've completed it, I'm like, oh my god, this was just like, yeah, it's paced, it's shot like an American show. It's one of those things where if someone said, I don't really like anime, but what's an anime I could watch? 1,000,000,000% this is one. Because it's like, it has that mature tone. It helps that it's made by a guy called Gen Urobuchi, who's known for making very, very sort of nihilistic, edgy sort of stuff. I say edgy, but I don't mean like Shadow the Hedgehog edgy. I mean like stuff that you finish watching and you just look in the mirror and go, was that happy in the end? I don't know.
Okay.
So I watched that. That's really good. I had the Blu-ray for that, and there's some big pop-off moments in there. There's just some moments that made me like, after watching the crappy Fate cartoon from before they got the good company to do it, I was like, this is what it should have been like. There's some moments that are just so ridiculously good.
So is it like, where does it take place on the Fate timeline?
So it's literally, this is really cool. The show starts off with a countdown that says like 300 hours until 0. And you're like, what does that mean? 0 is literally the first second of the original Fate visual novel.
Okay.
So it's literally counting down until the very first second of like the original Fate story. It's a prequel. It's very much like, it's called Fate Zero because it's exactly that. It's the 0 to Fate. It's the prequel.
Okay. Yeah, like it's just like Resident Evil 0 or something like that.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's the least flow chart needed. It's very clearly just everything leading up to the original Fate story. And yet, I think I've told you this before, there's people who love it so much they treat it as a standalone work.
Wow.
There's people who are like, after it finishes, like, I don't even need to check out the original. This is like, I'm good enough. There's people who only like this out of the entire Fate franchise, and I can kind of see why. It has a very unique tone. Unlike the next thing I'm going to talk about. So, Fate Hollow Ataraxia.
Well,
do you know what ataraxia is?
No, I don't. What? Please explain to me.
It's a Greek term for sort of this feeling of calmness. So let's say you are, it's the day of, day 2 of summer vacation. It's a Monday and you're like, I don't have to go to school. I can just be where I want to be and just chill. That's like ataraxia, that feeling of just everything's okay. We're all good. Do you get it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So literally, this is a sequel to the original Fate story. So I went in release order pretty much of Fate, then the prequel, and then the sequel, right? Basic way of if they released it there. And it's 90% just shenanigans. There's a little bit of actual plot there, and it's interesting, but the majority of it is literally, because the original Fate Stay Night is just a linear visual novel. It's like, you just read it through. This one literally just shows a world map with like people around, and you can click on them, and it's like, it's the morning of the first day. Who do you want to hang out with today? It's like all social links.
Are they all new characters, or?
No, it's the characters from the original.
Okay.
And in fact, because of a stupid event at the beginning of the game, it's stupid, but it makes sense. It's not like an ass pull. It makes sense. Literally, everyone is there. Even characters who should be dead, characters who shouldn't be here at this time. They literally, through like some crazy magic, it's literally in a world where nobody died in the original story, and it's just them hanging out. So you'll be like, let's just go walk up on like one of the villains, and you go walk up and she's like, I still don't really trust you, but like, it's kind of nice being in a happy world right now. Now it is part of the story, so it's not like it won't be addressed, but right now it's like, They're just like, huh, isn't it a bit weird how they didn't die? But it's very clear that, like, through the magic and stuff, like, this is gonna have to be resolved. But it's, like, just shenanigans. It's just, like, you go to the dock and find one of the servants who's, like, again, like, these... to put it into Adrian terms, you find a stand just out on the dock, just fishing.
Okay.
And you talk to him, and you just have a conversation about, like... Well, so what are the fish you're catching? I got some mackerel, got some trout. Oh yeah. So it's pretty good over here. Yeah, it's like it's and like you just have like these conversations, but then every now and then you'll be like, hey, shouldn't you have like a fishing sort of stand if you're kind of fishing every single day out here? And he's like, nah, I'm so used to, carrying around this giant magical spear that can pierce the heart of anybody who walks near me. A fishing rod's pretty light. I can handle it. In fact, it's like training for my spear. And he's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, you want to buy some fish? Yeah, sure, let's buy some fish. And there's so much cooking. There's so much cooking in
then
it.
You must love it.
It's like, what's that?
Then you must love it.
Oh my god, I've been building my life around food. I've seen them making it and like going out and buying it myself and making it. It is the best. So I'm really enjoying it. The actual, deeper, because it's like basically in the day it's like a happy-go-lucky whatever social link plot, but then at night it's like, okay, now there's serious stuff. Now there's some stuff of like, murder and like, oh man, we gotta stop this lady who wants to kill the town. It's also like it's also Majora's Mask. It's on a 4-day cycle.
Okay. Does that not stress you out?
And then at the end, what's that?
Does that not stress you out?
No, because there's no game over at all. Because literally you get to the end of the 4th day and it just loops back to the first. And you can even just click a button to skip to like, morning of the 3rd day, do a new event there. It's like, it's a chill sort of thing. I'm enjoying it.
Cool.
All right.
What else
now
are you
for the
enjoying?
big one. Now for the big one. So I've been playing Fate Grand Order. This is the mobile game. This is the one that is, addictive, shall we say?
I remember you saying like, I'll never get addicted to phone games. And then here you are.
Here's the thing. I'm not, and I'll tell you why. It's very
You tweet
simple.
about it literally every day.
No, I'll tell you why I'm not addicted to a phone game. I'm not playing it on my phone.
Oh my god,
I've installed it on my computer by a thing called BlueStacks, which is a Android emulator.
Wait,
now
you think I can play Pitter Patter Pop on?
What's that?
You think I could play Pitter Patter Pop on that?
You could, but would it be much better to play it with a mouse than your finger?
Never mind.
So this is different because this is a turn-based RPG.
Yeah, okay.
So this I like to play on the computer, and especially because with this I can bind the buttons that you would press like on the screen. I binded it instead to my keyboard, so I can just press the buttons on my keyboard. It works really well for that. So this game is like, it's the newest Fate thing. It's ongoing. I have put money into it. I'm not ashamed to say it because honestly, it is the quality of a paid thing. Honestly, I am shocked with how good it is. And the best example of this, I'll say, is the most recent event called Murder at the Kogetsukan. So, like mobile games, they have like events, right? I'm sure you've seen.
Oh yeah, they have that in JoJo.
There's a weekly event. There's something that's special, an exclusive level you can only play at this time. The nice thing with Grand Order is if you play that event, you can at any time replay the story scenes by just going to your archive. So it's like, hey, I want to remember this story. Or it's like, oh, I don't want to look at the story for this just yet. I'll skip through it and then I can go read it at another time.
It's like a completionist thing.
Yeah. So this Murder at the Kogetsukan was a weekly event where they basically said, hey, here's an event where you'll meet up with the servant named Sherlock Holmes, who is literally Sherlock Holmes, and you're going to solve a mystery with him. And I was expecting it to just be, short fun little adventure. It was a 5-hour novel with no gameplay, There's like 1 or 2 battles, but you're given a preset character and you can't lose them. It is a 5-hour novel that is just an original Sherlock Holmes mystery that you are actually expected to solve. By the end, it's like, all right, go to this website, cast your vote for who you think the killer is, and if the majority of players get it right, everyone gets 30 Saint Quartz, which is like the premium currency that you use for the gacha summoning, which of course everyone wants that free 30. It's like, oh my god, why would you not? So everyone worked together and tried to solve the mystery. Now, mind you, this event came out like 2 years ago in Japan, so everyone already knew the answer. But it is legitimately an amazing story. It is so well written that I was like, I don't even care if there is no gameplay. This is just a good story. And it was actually so good that in Japan, they just took this event and turned it into a novel.
Huh.
So you can just buy the novel of it. The actual amount of fate that's in it is very little. The only thing is, so basically the story is, one day the main character is just like walking around and then he like falls asleep. And then when he wakes up, he's in a mansion with a whole bunch of people that look like all the servants from Fate. So he's like, hey, what's Mordred doing here? What are you doing here, Lancelot? All these characters that you should know. But as you learn, they just look like them. They're actually just regular people from like New York. And the reason that you see them is you basically mind transferred into a person at this event going on at this Kogetsukan, which is an event. And because your body can't handle being in someone else's mind, your brain just like transforms what the people look like into familiar characters for yourself. So it's basically, there's a story going on where they look like characters from Fate, but they're not. They're just regular people with different names. And it's a whole original story with zero Fate sort of stuff going on other than the characters looking like the way they do. And you go through it, and it is a great story. It's like, again, 5 hours long, and the twist is amazing. It is legitimately an amazing murder mystery twist. And I was like, this is better than it... Like, this is so good for something that is not the game itself. There's no gameplay in it. It's just a story.
Huh.
It was so good. There's apparently 3 more of them. They all basically got turned into novels after because they're by the same writer, and they're all just like really, really good stories. Well, I say story, but they're like visual novel style. So you see backgrounds and characters talking. There's sound effects and music, but it's just an amazing story. Cool. And so I'm like, this is rad. I love Fate Grand Order. I've been playing daily for like the past like 2.5 months because it's like, wake up, do your dailies, and then it'll be like, all right, then I'll record a video of me doing the story. Shout outs to it being all in English. That's very good.
Oh, that must be nice.
Yes, because then I can read the story.
Because when they introduce new like gameplay elements into Pitter Patter Pop, which is the JoJo mobile game, whoever doesn't know that, it's like, what does this thing do? And it's like, I have to go into the Discord or the Reddit and see like, oh, this thing does this. Or like you have to, they did it a while ago, but I only discovered it recently where, what's his name? The guy Stan that you have to tap. He taps the bullet a few times before it fires.
Oh, Craftwork.
Yeah, Craftwork. Those things spawn on the board, and you have to physically tap them on the screen 5 times, and then they shoot up and destroy a bunch of panels. Huh. And I didn't know that until like 2 months later. So they're just sitting there on the board, being wasted. But yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's good that your mobile game is in English and mine. Maybe one day.
Maybe. Well, judging by looking at like the games that are getting translated, they pretty much have to be by Aniplex, which is like the company.
What is this? What does your porn game get to have English, but my cool stand game doesn't?
I'm going to give you a brief reminder that Fate Grand Order was the most talked about game on Twitter of 2018.
You're lying.
The same year that Fortnite... Oh, dude, I will send you the link.
All right.
Fate,
you can do that.
Most talked about game. The same year that Fortnite was really big. Sony's Fate Grand Order was the most talked about game on Twitter in 2019. I am posting it right below where I'm doing the stuff. You can click that link. It is absolutely true. It has more tweets than Fortnite, Final Fantasy, Grand Blue, Smash Bros, all of them.
That doesn't make any sense.
Dude,
Tanner,
Fate Grand Order is the most huge game in Japan.
You're literally the only person I know who talks about Fate other than Beat, who like does it as a meme.
Okay, but here's the thing. It's not that there's more people, it's just that they talk way more. Like, not to say that they are, but Fate fans are the JoJo fans of visual novels. They will make it be known. Damn good game. Good franchise. I just watched a video which was, could you live entirely off of Fate merchandise? And you can. There are cars, hotels, restaurants. I literally have, like, I was watching that video though, and I was literally watching and being like, I have that. I have that. I've been there. I have that. It's kind of sad.
Also, you can hear me typing the keyboards, right?
I can a bit. It's fine. It's something we have to get used to.
To get used to it. It's like, it makes it more hangouty, if you know what that means.
Well, actually, when we're done, I'll show you how to do noise cancellation to just make it so that any sort of background clicks and creaks of like moving your chair are taken out.
That's happening a lot here.
It's a real good thing in Audacity.
All right, I'll do that. All right. We're getting into the big games now.
Honestly, mine, I don't have too much to talk about with the other two because I don't want to go into too many spoilers for them. Yeah. So I'll say right now, Final Fantasy VII Remake, I have completed it. Game of the year. Bar none.
I have it. I need to play it.
It is an absolute work of art.
Is it a banger?
It is amazing because they take single screens from the original game and turn them into full chapters. My final game time was 38 hours. My final game time for the original Final Fantasy VII, playing it the first time, was 30 hours.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally, it took me more time to beat the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and that is with zero grinding. That is with... I did every side quest in both of those games. You know, so it is so good. Now, all I'll say is, there's people saying, oh, you know, it's like, you know, it's a sequel. No, it's not. It's a remake. It's...
Don't get into it too much. Don't get into it too much.
I won't get... Well, no, I think it's well known now. All I'll say is 100% you need to play Final Fantasy VII, the original, first. They do stuff that would be very lost if you had no clue what Final Fantasy VII was by the end.
That's interesting.
It's important that you at least know. I maybe not. I'd say if you don't play the game, you just need to know about 3 major spoilers. One of them is the obvious one. The one that everyone knows. The one that you know.
Yeah. It's like...
It's
like
the spoiler.
It's like the I am your father of video games.
Yeah, God, everyone knows.
Yeah.
Like, do I need to even walk around the words? But
just in case.
2 more.
Just in case.
Just in case. There's 2 more. All I'll say is the identity of Cloud and the identity of Sephiroth. That's all I'll say.
Huh.
You need to know really who they are because it assumes you do pretty much. Now, those are things, I'd say all 3 of those plot lines could easily have been picked up through pop culture osmosis over the years. Like, if you just are in a fandom or near a fandom, you may well have that information. All I'll say, Adrian, is, does the name Zack mean anything to you?
Yes.
Okay. You need to know about Zack.
Okay.
That's all I'll say. But I loved the ending.
When I say it means something to me, it's that I know that name is assigned to a Final Fantasy character, and that's it.
Okay. No, so you need more than that. You do need more than that.
Okay.
What I'll say is I loved the ending, and it's making me... So remember how I really, really, really wanted to see footage of Final Fantasy VII at every Sony conference?
Yeah.
Now I demand to see a shred of Final Fantasy VII Remake 2, which will probably be given a different name, I'm going to assume. I feel like they're gonna do like remake, rebuild, rework. I'm gonna call it right now, something like that.
That's
right?
good. I like that.
Right? Because there's some meaning to certain things there. But
yeah, they didn't call it remake. I don't think they called it remake just to say it's a remake. I think it's something more.
It is. I mean, but that's well known now. But part of that though is you kind of need to know that going in. Yeah. So play the original game. It takes like a normal playthrough of 7 is like 25 hours, and with the fast forward button on every modern port, it takes way less time than that in real life. That's just talking game time. And I mean, heck, if you want to, you can press the button that gives you level 99 and just go through everything, because it has that as a booster too, just to get the story.
Yeah.
But
I do
everything that they do for 7 to this is like, you can 100% tell the developers are fans of 7. There's so much love poured in.
Yeah, I do want to play the original, so I have it on my PS4, so I'll get to it eventually.
Yep, but I would say it's important too, but once you do that, and not just the section that's covered in Remake, the whole game.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but real good. Really excited for where they go with that. Amazed there's no announcement of any sort of DLC, because there's places where you look and you're like, oh, you can just like there's certain areas where they're like a menu will pop up and there's battle challenges and there's only like 6 or 7 of them, and you're like, oh man, they could do DLC giving you like hundreds of those, and I would play them and buy them.
Oh, you never know.
Yeah, you don't know. We'll have to see.
You're not Square Enix.
The other thing I've been playing is Sakura Wars, the new one on PS4.
Sakura Wars.
He has to Google this. That's kind of sad.
No, I know what it is. I just want to see what it is,
Okay. So, this is like a new... It is a sequel, but it feels sort of like a soft reboot of the franchise. It's literally a game where you play half the time as a director of a stage crew doing musicals at a theater, and the other half the time you ride in robots killing demons, and it's a mecha game.
I don't like her face.
Sakura herself, the main girl?
Yeah. I don't know if it's the graphics or...
Well, it's this game, something that's actually interesting is every single character ethnicity is designed by a different artist.
This is Beats girl right here. Anastasia?
Okay, Beat loves Anastasia. I'm going for Hatsuho. She's the red-haired one. She's very bombastic there. But no, it's really cool. Every character of different ethnicities are designed by different artists, meaning that when you look at them, you can tell they're foreign, even though they're in an anime art style, because they are drawn differently. It's kind of cool. One of the characters is even drawn by the guy who designs Persona characters, Sojima there, and they look like a Persona character, which is kind of rad. But the main characters are designed by, like, the Japanese characters are designed by Tite Kubo, who's known for Bleach. But there's like the artists for like a whole bunch of other stuff in there. The main mascot is actually designed by Ken Sugimori. He's, of course, the guy who designs the Pokemon. So they make a joke that he's a lost Pokemon, like in the game even, which is kind of fun. But it's so classic with new graphics. So let me explain what that means. there's many scenes of characters that are standing around and talking without voices because, of course, it was originally a visual novel series. But they're still fully in 3D with animations and lip flaps because it's a 3D game. So there's some people who are like, this is kind of weird because it's like old style but new. Like the main character will just speak out loud his thoughts because, of course, that's how you convey ideas in a visual novel. But it's fully in 3D, which makes people go, oh, this looks weird when you're standing in a crowded area talking to yourself, huh? The actual combat is Muso style now. It was like a Fire Emblem style strategy game before. Now it's Muso, and it's fun. It's real fun. But it is just absolute shenanigans. And I love that. It'll just be like you'll walk into a room and you'll just find girls' underwear on the floor. And the main character will go, oh geez, oh god, if I'm caught, something will go wrong. And then the game will give you a quick time event where you have to try and find a place to hide. I didn't find a place to hide in time because I didn't know where to go to find it. And so another girl walked in and was like, bro, were you sniffing your employee's panties?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go tell your boss. And you're just like begging her with dialogue options. It's ridiculous. Oh, it's so fun.
All right. That does sound like a Tanner game.
It is 1,000,000,000% a Tanner. Like, literally, I'm at the part where they're doing an Olympics-style tournament arc, but it's not about, like, athletic events. It's specifically Olympics for two things. Musicals and mecha robots. So you'll have, like, these, like you'll have, like, the Berlin combat review come out, and they're, like, these hard-ass, like, military, I don't want to use the word, but, like, they're, like, Nazi-ish in their, like, decorum, and then they start doing a Broadway musical, and then they jump in their mecha. And it's like, this is the greatest stupid combo ever.
Okay.
Good game.
Good game.
Hey, speaking of, do you want me to tell me about what you've been playing?
I'm playing a bit. I'm playing more than usual because, you know. Doom Eternal came out. I'm gonna save the other big one for later. But yeah,
okay.
Doom Eternal came out. Completed it already. Platinumed it.
Platinumed, really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Was that a tough platinum? Was there any crazy stuff with that?
The online trophies were a bit cumbersome, but I just like went on the Reddit and found some people to help me out with some stuff. But
oh yeah,
but the game itself, it's incredible. The wait was well worth it. There's a few iffy things here and there. I think the final boss is better in the first game, but I think the music from the Eternal final boss is better. But you know. But gameplay wise, it's like you know how like the feeling of a game is what not determines, but like what helps it feel more gamey.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like it's like the perfect shooter, I think, in terms of feel and just like satisfaction you get from like killing the demons and all that. Environments are amazing. It's way more varied than the first game. I saw it while I was playing through it. I saw someone say like, Eternal makes 2016 look like a beta, and I wholeheartedly agree because there's like a hub area. There's like an area where it's basically just like Starship Mario.
Yeah, I saw that. I've actually seen quite a bit of the game because it looks absolutely rad.
There's I think there's fewer bosses in Eternal than there was in. Or maybe that's the other way around. I'm trying to think.
I don't remember there honestly being many bosses in the original.
Okay, yeah, I think there's more bosses in Eternal than there is in 2016. But all of them are fun. There's only one mission that feels a bit fillerish, but I still like love the entirety of the game.
How do you feel about the Marauder?
It's from my perspective, it's just like I'm trying to like think of a good word to describe it. It's like a barrier of like if you're actually good at the shooter or not. Because Eternal,
it's a skill game.
Yeah, it's a skill game. Yeah, but like overall, just not the Marauder, but the game itself, it's tough. At the beginning, it's very tough. Like you can die over and over. You constantly run out of ammo and all that. Like you constantly have the chainsaw demons. But as you like get into it and you unlock more, there's so many elements to this game, Tanner, that you have to like.
I've heard it's very much like a Devil May Cry game where it's like it's tough at first, but as you continue to unlock stuff, you eventually just get the ability to combo things in such ridiculous ways because you have so many options that it just becomes fun.
The meat hook, especially where you like shoot it into a. Okay, by the way, I'm not going to go into any spoilers, but just like some gameplay elements that I want to talk about.
Most of them have been in trailers anyways.
Yeah, the meat hook, you veer towards a demon, but like if you unlock air control, you can like pretty much move as quickly as you can on the ground around in the air. So you can like swing around a demon and then fire kill another demon
so
and then
rad.
Turn around and like do the meat hook again and go back, and it's just incredible. Like there's like the grenades that you have to fire to freeze demons, and then you have a flamethrower that like lights them up, and then if you shoot them while they're on fire, you get armor. And like on the higher difficulties, you got to go like integrate every single part of your arsenal to survive. But like at a point, it was like I kind of just like want to like get through the game first before I master everything. So I kind of like I was playing at Ultra Nightmare, but I went down a difficulty which was like medium.
Yeah.
But and then that made me feel like the Doomslayer. It makes you feel like the Doomslayer, Tanner.
That's rad.
Yeah. That was a joke, by the way, if you didn't catch that.
Wait, what was?
Like, you know how when people say it makes you feel like Batman?
Oh. See, no.
Oh my god.
I don't play games where people say that.
Do you even go on the internet?
I try to actually avoid it a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. You're kind of cutting out.
That's something that we just have to deal with on this.
I'm kind of worried because like around now is like where since I live in an apartment, a lot of the bandwidth is being used.
Well, we'll see what happens. There was one other time where we cut out earlier where I cut it and edited it. Am I sounding better now?
Oh yeah. There's just a time where you go like, ew. But anyway, yeah, Doom Eternal, go buy it, go play it. Play the first one though, but then play Eternal because there's a lot more story. Also, it just like
How do you feel about that? Because I remember people really being excited for the fact that in Doom 2016, Doom Guy literally goes, "Screw the story," like pushes aside whenever the story came up or whenever Samuel Hayden was like, "You must carefully put it in," and he'd be like, "Screw that," pushes it in, right? Where now it's like way more like the story is now actually like. There's a story that he's not pushing aside. Do you prefer that, or do you prefer Doom Guy just being like, I don't care about story?
Well, that's the thing I was like looking what's forward to is like learning more about this universe and like what's actually going on here and like why hell is here now instead of before. And there's this whole other race of things that are into play now. And there's a cliffhanger at the end of the game where it's suggested that like there's even like a higher power going at play here, and I'm really interested. Like, of course I like the gameplay first. The gameplay is prime. That's what they focus on the most in Eternal. But I also like that there's like I like context a lot. And like why am I doing this other than just killing them, like, you know?
That's fair.
Yeah. So yeah, I do prefer Eternal's story. Even though there's a few, like, why is that there? Like, how is this happening exactly? But I don't want to get into details, so.
Okay.
After that, I finished Fire Emblem Three Houses during the break. The Blue Lions route. I absolutely love that game. I wanted to go through. I wanted to like complete the game, which is an insane task in hindsight. But I kind of got burnt out.
Each route is like, what, 90 hours?
Yeah. like quarter way through the Golden Deer route, I was like, I think I'm gonna put this down for a while. But like the base like Blue Lions route, like I loved it. It was it just like I know why people love Fire Emblem now, like all the characters and the story. And I do agree with, like, as I was playing it, I talked to people about it, and they said like that the magic kind of ruins it. Not ruins it, but kind of makes the actual war and the seriousness of it just kind of gets thrown out the window when like someone like says, haha, I'm a god or whatever out of nowhere. But
it's very Fire Emblem though. That happens quite a bit.
Yeah, but there was a moment at the end of the Blue Lions route where I'm like, this is really profound and I'm loving this. And then it's like, well, I'm just going to turn into this big dumb monster now. Literally for no reason. I still can't figure out like why that happened, but
well, you need to play the other routes to find out.
I don't see how like there would be like a connective tissue of what happened at the end. But like there was a moment like the last cutscene, like when everything was like winding down, like there was a moment that made me gasp. And it's like, yeah, this like I dug this a lot.
Nice.
And I'm looking forward to seeing like whenever I go back to the game, hopefully I have that itch to go back because I'm a very forward gamer.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Gameplay wise, it was since it's my first Fire Emblem game. I really wasn't wanting like a true hardcore experience, but like there was a few people who died, but I kind of like that because like if there was like I like the consequences of like.
Oh wait, you played on Classic?
Yeah.
Oh, wild. I never play on Classic. As soon as they gave Casual as a series option, I'm like, honestly, I'm in it for a good time, not a long time.
Well, I do like the consequences of like, this person isn't here now because of my mistakes, and I gotta make sure the next time I do it, I go into battle and make sure like I do everything right, which I like that part of the game. But it didn't happen too often since by the end of the game I had like 50 time turnbacks.
Oh yeah, that does make it a bit easier. In the previous games, before you had time turn back, it was like, did you make one mistake? Redo the whole level.
Yeah, now you can just like go to like literally every turn.
Yeah, that's much nicer.
Yeah. But yeah, is there anything else you wanted me to talk about regarding Fire Emblem? Since it's like my first game in the series?
No, because it's like, it's the most kind of popular one, so it's like, at this point, it's just seeing where, you know, are you going to jump on the next one?
Probably.
Well, then there we go.
And then, Tanner.
Yes?
Animal Crossing came out.
Wait, there's another game you had on here.
Well, I'm doing that right now, but like I'm kind of going in chronological order.
Okay, so, fair enough.
Animal Crossing came out. Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yes.
500 hours in it already. No.
That's a lot.
No, sorry. 250.
Well, that's half of that.
I had 500 in my head because that's what I just hit with Smash. And that's been out for like 3 years.
Fair enough, yeah.
But like, yeah, Animal Crossing 50 hours in, give or take. Game of the year, obviously.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
It's like it's expanded so much where it's like every day. Well, it's kind of getting into that routine for me, but like there's still like things where it's like I'm still adding to my island 250 hours in. I just finished a rock garden, which took a week and a half since you have to like put mannequins everywhere and make sure those rocks spawn where exactly you want them. And if one space is open, that's where they spawn for some reason. It's like the game hates me. But yeah, like you said, you don't really play it anymore, but like I don't see myself stopping for a very long time.
I think it's just, I got to a point where, well, for one, what happened, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I got the announcement of, hey, we're going to be upgrading your store, so you can't use it the next day. And I'm like, oh, cool. Well, I guess I won't play the next day because everything revolves around that store. And
does it though? I don't think it does.
Never got back to it. Well, because everything needs money.
But the store is closed, sure. But then you can like focus on like beautifying your island or working on your house.
Okay, but here's the thing. I've seen so many people make such amazing islands.
Oh, I have too.
That I honestly get a little bit of like, well, what's the point? I'm never going to have the time to do that. Well, that's
where I come from with that, is that when I see those, like I even go out of my way to do that. I watch those 5-star island tours and it'd be like, this is a really cool thing they did to like make this item used in this way. I'm going to implement into that into my island in a not a copying way, but like my own twist on it, which I really like to do.
Yeah.
Like right now, there's like 2 spots on my island that are kind of blank, and I'm planning to go watch those 5-star island reviews to see like how can I make my own spin on whatever someone else made, or like entirely like, because I have like an outdoor cafe I made, and there's a stage I have there with like a mic and instruments, and I know when that cafe update happens, because it will. I think it's in the data or whatever.
Oh yeah, there's still tons of stuff in the data that we know are coming.
That's where I'm going to put the cafe. So
that's why for me, a little bit of it is like I'm very excited to play the game when it's full and done.
But didn't you see that it's going to take them like they're going to be updating it for years to come?
I hope so. And it's a little bit of it is just like it's sort of like now that when I'm doing the online teaching and stuff, there's some days where I won't be able to play, and then that makes me feel like, well, if I missed a day, well then whatever, I don't have to keep my streak up, right? And I was just a little discouraged with it. But let me say,
we both play the game in different ways.
Great.
Oh yeah. But like we just play in very different ways. Like
yeah.
The way I played it when I was younger and the way you played it when you were younger were different. So now that like we're adults now and we have our own responsibilities, but you have your teaching and I have my schedule, right? So
yeah.
But for me, like missing a day, it doesn't really, it's like, oh, that kind of sucks or whatever. What else will the next day have for me or whatever, you know? Like I missed, someone moved onto my island. I got to talk about my villagers for a second. Sorry. Hamlet's birthday was yesterday and I missed it. And I'm like, that's devastating to me. I'm not going to time travel though, but I'm going to
No,
be
if
like,
you time travel, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong. Very controversial opinion, I know. But
no, but I'm saying it 100%.
Oh, you're dying on that hill?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree. But I don't really enforce it anymore. But you do you, whatever. But
yeah.
So yeah, speaking of villagers, I had what was her name? Naomi on my island. She was ugly, but that's not the point of this. Like she was an ugly cow, and she insulted Goose, my favorite villager in the series, saying like, "Hey, why do you work out so much? Stop." And Goose got mad, and I got mad. I'm like, you're getting off this island immediately. And it took like 2 weeks for her to get off because I was waiting, because if you ignore them, they eventually leave. But then she wasn't leaving. But then eventually someone came to my campsite and said like, okay, I'll move in if Naomi leaves. And I'm like, do it. So now Wade, the penguin, I'm sure you've seen him in the Discord.
Yeah.
He's currently living. He has like a house full of fish, which is very reminds me of the governor from Walking Dead with all the heads. But again, yeah, it's just,
or just the fact that penguins eat fish.
Yeah, that too. But like, why would you like torture the fish? Like, just Wade's just looking at them like, I'm about to eat you, and the fish is terrified.
Okay. Sure, it's a Walking Dead reference in Animal Crossing.
No,
sure.
not that. I wasn't even talking about that. I'm like just saying like the fish is terrified.
Okay.
See, the way we're talking now is very different than if we were in person, since I'm kind of rambling. But again, we just got to get used to it.
We're doing a pretty casual first podcast in the new format.
But yeah. Other than that, I've started Cadence of Hyrule finally. I'm still bad at it, like really bad at it. like embarrassingly bad, but I think like I just need to sit down and like learn it because I've just kind of been playing it here and there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty short game, all things considered, because you're meant to do many runs of it.
But yeah, I don't have much to say on that. It's just I've only heard like 2 songs, like the overworld theme and the underground theme.
Oh, really?
And the the Kakariko Village theme.
Have you beat a boss in it?
No. Like I'm not far in it at all.
Yeah, you got to go do that because those things are awesome.
Yeah. I'm playing as Link, so.
Yeah, I went Link for my first playthrough, and I'll do Zelda for my second, and then there's Cadence, and then there's Octavia.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm playing. There's probably a few other things.
Oh, actually, there's one secret character. Have you heard about them?
No.
There is a, let's just say there are Deku seeds, and if you get them all, you actually get another new character.
Oh, don't spoil that for me.
I won't.
Okay. But yeah, that's all. Again, that's pretty much all I've been playing. There's probably a few things here and there. Like I've been playing Smash, obviously. But yeah, that's pretty much all the solid stuff I've been playing over the break.
Yep. Speaking of, shall we go into the big news that came out during the break? Because obviously we can't hit it all. Because
there was
a lot.
Nintendo Direct Mini that happened. But
not a ton in there, but still interesting stuff. But we're mostly talking about some of the real big stuff that we have stuff to say about. So why don't you begin with the first one? Because I actually don't know much about this thing.
So Jeff Keighley of the VGA, the Game Awards fame, started a what would you call it? An event?
I guess it's an event. Yeah, it's an online event
called the Summer's Games Fest, which is basically just an online all summer E3 where they announce he's collaborating with a bunch of companies except Nintendo, obviously.
Yeah, Nintendo will do stuff on their own.
Just announce like stuff over the summer. Like it's already happened a bit with the Unreal Engine 5 showcase that happened. What was the other thing?
Tony Hawk.
Yeah, Tony Hawk, that kind of stuff. Like all these game announcements that were going to happen are kind of under like this not theoretical, but like metaphorical umbrella of Summer's Games Fest.
Do you know when it actually starts?
It's already started, I think.
It's just really spread apart then.
Yeah, I think it goes until like late August. Like it's like all summer.
Interesting.
So like the next event is like that PS5 showcase, which like I'll talk about in the next story. But it's because like can't have E3 right now. And how do you feel about E3's chances now? Like
I think it's done.
It's done.
I think it's done.
Yeah, I think it was on its way out already, but I think this
is the perfect excuse for it to be done.
Yeah, because it's like. I am going to miss like the feeling of E3, having that week of just like excitement. Because I remember like, I'm going to have some friends over and we're going to watch the press conferences and it's going to be hype and all that. But
yeah,
but like we can't really do that anymore.
No, well, I mean, and then later on, I mean, it's no different than getting your friends together for a Nintendo Direct,
Yeah.
So you'll just be like, hey, June 4th, we got the thing going. Do you want to watch it? And we can do it online now, and then later in the future, we can watch it, in person. So it's definitely something that, it's a change, but you'll still get those moments. It just won't feature awkward people standing on a stage, which, honestly, I'm not going to miss.
You're not going to miss that? Oh, that's like the best part.
No. I have a hard time with it. I get big secondhand cringe when they come up and do the geek and gamer stuff.
Hey gamers. Or like
it's like, wow, now that was an epic trailer for the gamers. It's like,
or there's people who absolutely do not give a shit about games and they're there for the just the fame or like
money. Just get a football player up there and he's like, I'm representing FIFA 2022. You can play through your story mode of FIFA 2022 on your mobile devices.
On your mobile devices.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Summer's Game Fest. I'm enjoying it so far. We'll see what the summer has in store.
Yes.
All right.
Speaking of Nintendo announcements, we got the absolute random drop that, hey, the Smash DLC Fighter 6 is from ARMS.
Yes. This is like the biggest thing from that mini direct, I think.
Yeah, and I was really mad that I woke up and I saw people talking about it and I didn't even get to watch the mini direct before. I was like, oh, dang.
Oh, see, because I watched that direct like right away. I didn't see anything else. So this was like a surprise for me.
Like, well, the first thing I saw when I logged into Twitter in the morning, as I do, because the first thing I do pretty much is log into Twitter, was seeing people talk about ARMS and Smash. And I'm like, wait, what?
But yeah.
And then I watched the mini and I'm like, oh, shoot. Well, okay.
As of the recording of this podcast, it's like 2 weeks away, I think. Because there's those big rumors of it coming out on the 16th, like the ARMS anniversary date.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think it is?
Okay, who do I think or who do I want?
Both.
Okay, who do I want? Min Min.
Yeah.
100%. Who do I think? Springman. And they will change it to Springtron for the assist trophy, which is going to be really disappointing.
Do you think... Because there's theories going around that, like, if it was just Springman, they would have just said that. But it's like, oh, who's it gonna be out of this entire roster?
Okay, so one thing I will say, and I did some videos where I go through kind of some of the ARMS fighters, and I sort of talk about them as I play the game. By the way, the highest difficulty for ARMS' story mode is one of the toughest things I've ever played. Holy crap! But I do think that there's a series of characters that you can say it definitively won't be. Specifically, the characters who do not use their arms. Mechanica and Twintel, I don't think it'll be them. You're gonna
get some hate from
because they're trying to showcase the game ARMS and talk about the unique gameplay of ARMS, not the ones who play around with that idea. The only other one I really would like is Dr. Coyle.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be a hero situation where it's gonna be Springman's Ribbon Girl, the ninja dude, and
I think his name is Ninjara
and Min Min. I think it's gonna be those four because their body types are similar. Their abilities.
Those are the four that have spirits in Smash already.
Yeah, but again, that doesn't really matter. I don't think
it doesn't matter. But what I'm just saying is like those are the four that they selected to represent ARMS.
Yeah.
I personally would rather it not be a hero situation. And the only reason why is because Min Min herself has unique gameplay stuff that would be really cool to just bring into Smash. Specifically powering up her dragon arm, the fact that she has kicks, unlike almost no other ARMS character uses their feet. She kicks and the kicks can deflect stuff. Well, I think that if it's just her, she would have a really unique play style. Where if it's all of them, then it's just like it might as well be none of them. You know, it doesn't go into the details about her.
Two things off of that. I like if it was any one character, I think it'd be Min Min. I think that's a big chance.
She won. She's the most popular by far.
But jumping off of that, this character's been in development for way longer than any other character, I think. DLC wise. And I think
some of that slowed down with the big thing that happened, but now that everyone's working at home, it's like, they've been worked on for a while.
Maybe those unique playstyles for each fighter are a possibility because they've been...
I don't think so. No, they won't do that. They'll never give costumes to change stats. That was one thing that Sakurai pretty much exclusively was like, no, we're making sure that doesn't happen.
Okay. Well,
That's why we have Echo Fighters.
Oh, it's going to be like a unique situation then. He said like that's explicitly this is going to be like a unique fighter. They're going to have unique abilities that you've never seen in Smash Bros. So
I took it just for the fact that they're going to have attacks that are really, really slow but go really, really far.
Maybe.
Like the punches in ARMS, how they slowly go where they need to, but they go really far. I think that's what it's going to be. I wonder if it's going to... And I do think there'll be a situation where, because in ARMS, when your arm gets broken or when it gets hit, it falls down and then has to retract. I think there'll be a situation with that where it's like, if you punch an incoming thing with an attack that's heavier, it will break the arm for a bit and you have to move around with it, dealing with it.
Yeah, it's going to be weird to see ARMS characters move as fast as Smash Bros. Characters do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also, like the main thing I can't picture in my head.
One thing I was thinking of with Min Min there is, you know, what's a good way to do a recovery move that's not just reach up and grab, because that's boring. I really want it to be her firing the dragon laser downwards.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like, you know, just firing a laser straight down and using the propulsion to go upwards, right? Maybe. And then she can grab with the other hand. I think that'd be super cool. I think one of the Mies gunner has basically that with like just a laser, like just with a blast. But I think that'd be like a really cool way to like, and then if her dragon's powered up, she can go higher.
Yeah.
Right? So I when I look at it, Min Min has so many unique gameplay options just with Min Min that I don't want it to be a hero situation.
Well, have you seen those discussion topics where it's like you can switch out arms on the fly? Because that's a big thing. That'd be really cool. It's a big thing in arms. I think,
you know, having a sort of, because there was a character who had that in Super Smash Flash 2, and that was actually Mega Man from before Mega Man was in Smash. So they gave him a moveset where his neutral special, or no, his down special would then bring up a menu and let you choose what his neutral special would be, like from a list, like the different powers in Mega Man, right? So having a character that can actually like choose their stuff, you know, change their arms would be kind of cool.
Okay. What do you think the stage will be?
I think so I don't want it to be like the Springman basic sort of boxing ring style arena, because oh my god, we have that. It's the boxing ring. Please don't do that again. I want it to be the Max Brass stage.
So like Sky Arena?
The Sky Arena. So hey, now there's the problem of how do you deal with characters falling out of these enclosed arenas. There's literally, you fall down off of it, right? But also just like the atmosphere of a Sunset City stage. It's really cool.
My argument against that is that it just doesn't, like, of course it's in the game, but like it doesn't fit the aesthetic to me of ARMS, you know? It's too serious, I guess. It's not colorful enough. Because when I think of ARMS, it's colors everywhere. What's that game?
All right. I got a counter argument for you.
What?
The Hoops Arena from ARMS.
I'd take that.
With hoops, you can dunk characters
that'd be so fun.
Right? So, you know, Smashketball?
Yeah. Oh my god, they actually
little bit of canon Smashketball?
Just how they did with like the like Street Fighter stages with King of Fighters tournament.
That was the King of Fighters stage. Yeah. They made it into basically like one of your fighting games sort of custom stage. Yeah. So I think that'd be pretty cool. And that absolutely is the aesthetic without being necessarily just, you know, another boxing arena type one. I think that'd be sick.
Yeah, I'd like that. But they do tend to like go with like the main area of the game for the DLCs.
They either go with the main or the most iconic. Like that's why they go with like New Donk City. It's not the main area, but it's the most iconic part of Odyssey. The Great Plateau. It's not the main area, but it's the most iconic part, right?
So if it is the Springman stage, it's probably going to have like a wild gimmick. It's not going to be a boxing ring again. I mean,
there is a gimmick already on it.
Bouncy platforms or whatever?
The bouncy parts, yeah.
I feel like that's still a bit boring.
That is very boring. There's always a chance that they do something interesting with it and do something totally wild. Like an ARMS, one of the ARMS labs stages, you know, with maybe some helixes running around in the background or something. Yeah. There's always a chance for that.
What if the character is just helix?
What's that? I would... Okay, so... If it's Helix, I would feel the exact same emotion I felt with Piranha Plant, where I'm super, super disappointed, and then I go, no, wait, this is awesome.
All right.
Do you remember Helix's win poses?
He, like, twists, doesn't he?
No, all of them are just him screaming. Like, all of them are just
him yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
And, like, they're different ways of screaming. They're hilarious.
I feel like the music situation, like I'm ready to get disappointed, is what I'm saying.
No, I think it'll just be the whole soundtrack.
Like every fighter theme? Like
Yeah, there's only about 12 fighters.
But like, why didn't they do that for Boxing Ring with Punch Out?
Because Punch Out has like 45 fighters.
Dude, no.
Yeah, it does. Punch Out has in each of the four of them, because they have, each fighter has 2 themes. Their version when it's their intro and their boxing mid-match theme. And then there's even a victory theme for them. There's so much themes for them.
Well, no, I mean like the characters themselves, not the their different variations in their themes. Like, why didn't we get like a King Hippo theme or the, like, you know what I mean?
Because it's there's too many.
Okay. Well, no, I'm not saying I'm against the whole soundtrack being in.
And also, you have to remember, ARMS is first party Nintendo. Punch-Out Wii is second party Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
So they'd have to go through and contact the Canadian composer for all those songs and get them in.
That's fair.
Right? So versus ARMS, which is literally just, they go down the hall and talk to the composer who's right there and just are like, hey, can you sign these papers?
Well,
it's a lot
right
easier.
Now, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, and yeah, I mean, it's like Street Fighter, the Street Fighter situation where now you have basically every character's themes. They're all there.
Okay. Do you think they're going to... Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to double down, though, and say not only will picking will be for all the characters, all their themes, but picking that character's theme will make the audience wear that character's hats.
You don't think the actual character would be in the background? Because cameos are a big part of these DLC stages.
Well, I think the cameo will be that, hey, when you play Ninjara's theme, you'll see everyone in the audience wearing Ninjara's hat. Like how the fans wear the hats of the character. Yeah. So it'd be like that. Or if you play as Min Min, say, then you'll see half the audience will be Min Min and half will be the audience that is, the song of what you're listening to, right?
That'd be cool. Oh.
I think there'll be something with that. I don't think there'll be actual character cameos beyond Biff.
No? Why not?
I don't think there'll be.
Why don't you think so?
I just feel like the characters are too big to be walking around and doing stuff in the background. Like the King of Fighters characters are really small, aside from like the big fat guy, Chang or whatever. So I do think that like because the ARMS characters are huge, like they're with their arms out, they're big people, right? So I think it's too much for a stage, unless the stage itself is really big.
I hope it's a fall off stage. It's not going to be. Now that I think about it,
see that's why I kind of want it to be the Sky stage, because almost all the stages we've had for DLC have been walk-offs.
Or just 2 of them, but they've been the latest 2.
Yeah, that's true.
So, we'll see. Do you think they'll announce DLC 7? Like after?
I do.
You do?
I do. I think we'll get a special video that will be basically, here's the ARMS content coming right away, and then a tease for the next fighter.
Yeah, I think so too. No idea who.
Nope.
I'm thinking it's going to be third party though, since we've had 2 first party already, or like.
Yeah, I do think so too. And then I think we'll get another first party after that.
Yeah. Could talk about this forever.
Yeah, we could. So let's go and talk about PlayStation instead.
PS5 showcase on June 4th, which is in 5 days. As of the
ready
recording of this
for
podcast.
Ape Escape?
I am so ready. I'm ready for PlayStation All-Stars 2. I'm ready for Spider-Man 2.
Just show me Final Fantasy VII Remake 2.
That's okay. Remake just came out, Tanner. You know how long that took?
Do
you know how long that took for it to come out?
Well, apparently they said that the next game is going to be smaller so that it can come out quicker.
Okay. Sure.
So, hey, we'll see.
Did they detail anything about that? Like
I don't think they did. I think they just said that they are showing off games and stuff. Because the basically the PS4 equivalent of this did introduce us to Knack, of course.
Can't wait for Knack 3.
Knack 3,
It's going to
baby.
be an announcement of Knack 3, and then he's going to like fall in front of Nathan Drake, and it's going to be PlayStation All-Stars 2. I just want PlayStation All-Stars 2.
It may happen, but I don't
Like,
think
imagine Joel from The Last of Us punching Parappa the Rappa.
Just imagine Kratos fighting Kratos.
God of War PS4 Kratos fighting God of War 3 Kratos.
That's what I meant.
Well, you kind of tapered off, so I just wanted to finish your thought for you.
Fair enough. So how do you feel about this PS5
I was just about to ask you. I hate the color. I hate the color schemes right off the bat.
It doesn't bother me.
It bothers me a lot.
And I'll tell you why. Do you know what color my PlayStation 4 is?
White.
Do you know what color my PlayStation 4 controller is?
White.
So to me,
But
it matters
it's
not.
it's the combination of the white and the black. I'm looking at it right now, and I just don't like where the black is. I wish there was more black in it, you know?
Bro, it looks like a girl with big
Shut
boobers. It does. I love it.
The where I'm not sure about where the light bar is anymore. Like, I don't know how. Like, where it is on the PS4 controller is fine enough. Like, it's on like the touch bar, but now it's like on the sides, I think.
Let me take a look at this because I didn't even notice. I like that. I think that's a natural evolution of when they put the light bar like kind of see-through in the touchpad. It's better than it being on the back of the controller. That was always really stupid.
Yeah, you couldn't even see it, whereas you can see it now.
So now they have it so that on the new controllers it kind of shines through. I do think that, okay, I'm going to place a hard bet, though, that there will be alternate colors day one,
of course.
Much like a Nintendo product. Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to when people start to customize them, for, buying your, special customized version. I do think I need to hold it to actually sort of feel what I would feel about it.
Like without having held it yet, I think I'm going to like it. Because it looks like how a Switch Pro controller would hold.
Yeah, it looks like basically a Switch Pro controller with PlayStation buttons, which that sounds kind of sick.
Yeah, like I like because the Pro controller for the Switch is one of the best controllers I've ever held.
Oh, by far. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm literally holding it up, and it looks a little bit wider, like as in like it tapers more. Like I'm literally comparing with the one on my screen right now. Like it's the PS5 one is rounder at the top, but when I actually touch it and feel my controller here, it feels like my hands should naturally fit into that better. Yeah. So I do look forward to actually seeing how it actually feels to use.
I'm excited for that haptic feedback.
Yeah, for sure.
I do like the clear buttons.
I don't love that. That's part that I'm not a big fan of.
Why not?
Because, uh-oh.
What's that? I hear beeping.
That's my Digimon.
Oh, your Digimon.
It's hungry. Give me a second.
Digimon.
I need to go grab him and feed him.
How far away is he?
Just talk while I grab him.
Well, next thing we're going to talk about is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles coming to Nintendo Switch on August 27th.
All right.
We're now talking.
I have found my boy, and I will give him food.
I panicked and I moved on to the next story.
Okay,
so
I'm feeding
we're
my
talking
boys.
about the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles release date now.
Okay, I have fed my children.
Coming out August 27th.
Yay, and it now has full cross-play on all consoles.
Oh, does it?
Yes, all consoles, including mobile, PS4, Steam, Microsoft Xbox One. Just kidding, it's not coming out on that. And Switch.
Are you going to get it?
Yeah, I love Crystal Chronicles.
I heard it's very good, so I might. Maybe.
It is a MMO, pretty much. It is a local, at least in the original, it was like a local co-op MMO where, well, not really. You'd go into town with all party members and you do your stuff together. It's a very unique game. It's very multiplayer focused. Don't get it alone. It's very focused on getting with friends and playing through missions and leveling up and stuff. It's awesome. And it's very different. Has a very different story. It was kind of an excuse to reuse all the Final Fantasy IX models on a Nintendo game, but it's really fun.
Cool. Anything else to say on it?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's a remake of it's a remaster of a game that I played as a kid. All
right. So another thing I referenced when we were talking about the Summer Games Fest is Unreal Engine 5 got shown off. It doesn't really appeal to the consumer base, but it'll eventually will. With all the snazzy graphics. Did you watch the tech demo video?
I didn't, because it's not a real game. Because it doesn't matter how good your engine is by, with you as the engine maker of it. What I care about is how do the other companies implement that?
That's fair. What did you...
I won't care about Unreal Engine 5 until I see a game that looks amazing that says made in Unreal Engine 5. And then I go, oh shoot, that's what you can do in it, huh?
Did you see... Did you go back to the PS4 tech demo, Unreal... Or not PS4, but like the tech demo for the Unreal Engine 4?
No.
It looks garbage now. So I feel like the Unreal Engine 5 stuff is just the beginning. And it's going to like... I don't know how much better it can get at this point, but they'll find a way.
Maybe.
All right, back to you.
They announced they're remaking, and actually remake, not remaster. They are remaking Nier Replicant, the first Nier game. Now, this is actually interesting because this will be actually the first time that Nier Replicant comes out in North America, because we never got Nier Replicant. We got Nier Gestalt, which is the exact same game, but you play as an old dude as opposed to a young anime boy. So that's pretty cool. It'll be the first time to play through. It's the same story. The only difference is instead of being a story about saving your sister, it's a story about saving your daughter in the older one. So it's like, it's the same sort of thing, but they are getting Platinum to help out with the combat, because the combat in the first Nier is bad.
Yeah, I'm excited to get it, even though I still haven't played Automata.
Buddy, just forget about life. Play video games.
Bro, I can't.
No, nothing. Oh, they also announced they're making a new Nier game for mobile devices, which is like, okay.
Snooze.
I don't have anything to say about that.
Snoozy snooze.
Snoozy snooze indeed.
They announced another Assassin's Creed game. Valhalla.
Wow. Another year, huh?
Oh no, they took a break last year.
Oh.
I think. Yeah, it's set in during the Viking Ages. I'm kind of expressing interest to get back into the series to see like what the RPG phase of it has.
I've heard they're good.
Yeah,
but I've also heard that they're not very like everything since the one in Egypt has been not very Assassin's Creed-y and could almost entirely have been a brand new series.
But
I mean, you don't even play as the same, like, in all the other ones you play as the same, like, human guy. You don't anymore.
Yeah, they're their own contained stories now, I think. I've been told.
Yep.
But that doesn't really ruin anything for me. I think the worlds they're set in mainly are the main draw, for me at least.
Fair enough.
All right. So they announced a new Paper Mario.
Yeah, and I'm feeling complicated about it.
You definitely were complicated when they announced it.
Okay, well, for one, I was almost entirely joking on Twitter.
It didn't sound like it.
People took it for, like, me being super salty. I was, and then someone really pushed me over the edge, and then I decided to triple down and just go full stupid mode. At first, I was like, oh, sick, this looks good. And then I looked closer, and I'm like, it looks like Sticker Star.
No,
and then I looked closer, and I'm like, it doesn't look exactly like Sticker Star. It looks like something different, though. It's not looking like Sticker Star, but it's not looking like my Paper Mario.
Your
so
Paper Mario? Back in my day.
I'm a little bit like... So I'm more for it now, and I'm still going to buy it. I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
I do think, though, that there's someone at Nintendo who's just like, no, we can't make another proper RPG. It's too complicated for those babies who play our games.
That, or they wanted... It doesn't really sound it as an argument since they're dead now, but like the Mario and Luigi games, they were more the RPG Mario, whereas the Paper Mario series turned into more of a experimental series.
Yeah, but you see, Paper Mario were good RPGs.
Are you calling Mario and Luigi bad RPG games?
I honestly never liked them.
Are you kidding?
Super real.
Have you
really don't
played
like
them?
I've played the first 3.
Then something's wrong with you, man.
Actually, no. I like Bowser's Inside Story. I did. That one felt good.
Yeah,
but then I
the
never
best one in
touched
the
anything
series.
after that.
Dream Team's awesome.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I hated Partners in Time.
You really?
I hated
Yeah,
Partners in Time.
you either love it or you hate it. I love it. So
I thought Partners in Time was one of the worst games I played on the DS.
Really?
It is so... It felt like a baby's first RPG. I hated it.
Back to Paper Mario, though. What do you think of the whole
Yes.
origami take on it?
Okay, I know some people are like, oh man, it sucks that they're referencing their paper and not just doing it as an aesthetic thing, but I absolutely love this idea of, like, everyone in this world is 2D, but Mario, don't you want to ascend with us to the third
like
dimension as origami? I think it's so rad. That first trailer with, like, the Peach coming out and it's, like, all dark and, like, talking about, like, being reborn. I'm like, yo, no, this is kind of sick.
I like how Bowser's just a piece of paper for the entire thing.
So, and they're changing it seems, from you were, like, you would have distinct party members that were, like, you know, a class with a class of Mario enemy with personality, but it seems like they're instead going for you can recruit, like, any of them. So that's different. But I'm not opposed to that because this idea of Mario collecting all of the enemies is kind of cool.
It does look like partners are coming back in some form.
They are. They're confirmed.
Okay. What do you think of...
But the only thing is they're confirmed, but as everyone points out in the hilarious you know, one scene in there, they're no longer like Admiral Bombery, a salty bomb who used to be on this. It's like, instead it's, hi, I'm Bomb.
Yeah, the series does still have a big problem with, like, character variety and how they're just, like, variations
and especially,
of
like,
the same...
After Super Mario Odyssey has given us so many amazing brand new NPC types, how come I saw none of them in that trailer?
They must be entirely different teams.
Like, there's so many cool races in Mario that are in, like, one game. And it's like, oh, what do we have here? The craziest thing we'll get is, like, flying Buzzy Beetle.
I'm looking at the screenshot of the battle system, or whatever the battle thing is.
Yeah.
What are your hopes and dreams of that? Or how do you feel about that?
I like the battle system. I think it's kind of cool. It has a lot of stuff with strategy involving the layers of the combat. So, like, for instance, they showed off in a thing where it's like, if you put an enemy kind of in front of you, well, then you can attack them, and that's good. But by doing so, you also rotate other enemies on there. So if now you've placed an enemy behind you, that's not good. And for instance, what do you know about boos in Mario? They don't advance on you if they're in front of you, but they attack you if you're behind them, right? So they showed off, if there's a boo in front of Mario, he won't attack, but if boo's behind him, then he will, right? So there's strategy there, and I'm really looking forward to the boss battles, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I just don't want it to be use the items you buy with your money to use the fan over and over.
Did you play Color Splash?
I refuse to.
Really? I heard it was like an improvement.
I heard it's an improvement, but it's still not amazing. I've heard the only great part about that game is the writing.
Fair enough. But yeah, I'm still going to... It's coming out in like a month now, 2 months.
Yeah, very short, and came out of nowhere, so sure.
Yeah, they probably just had it in their not back pocket, literally, like, but they probably had it rearing to go pretty...
I think what it is it was meant to be in the direct that was going to be the mini direct there, but because of the thing that happened, they just didn't get the trailer edited on time.
Yeah, that's probably it. Cool. Anything else to say on that?
Nope.
Cool. So I know there's a lot of controversy behind this game, but I'm still looking forward to it in my own way. I'm sure you've seen all the leaks about it.
Oh yeah.
I want to say that meme, the Ellie choking meme, is my like just the variations of that image. I'm talking about The Last of Us Part 2. They showed off like a little gameplay thing last week or a few days ago. It looks like I'm interested to see what happens to the characters. I'm mostly interested in the story and like how the story continues. But I'm also interested in like how deep the gameplay systems can get. But I really like that moment when Ellie killed that girl who's playing Hotline Miami on her Vita. And
the last Vita player.
Well, when I heard the music playing, I'm like, "What's that from?" It's like Hotline Miami, and I'm like, "Oh, Tanner would hate her."
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the internet's reaction to this game coming out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. I feel okay. I'm not gonna get into it.
Okay. Street Fighter V is confirmed a final season. Some people think that it's because they were going to make a new Capcom fighting game, but because of the reasons, hey, we won't make it in time. Let's make one final season, because boy did that last season feel like the end of the game. So they announced 5 more characters are coming, 3 more stages, more costumes. I'm looking forward to it being characters that will hopefully liven up the game a little bit more.
Who are you hoping for? Like
Batsu from Rival Schools.
Okay, I have no idea who that is, but sure.
Okay, so you do know that like the Street Fighter universe actually shares like a whole bunch of Capcom games?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, Final Fight is in the Street Fighter universe, hence why half the Final Fight roster is in Street Fighter. Captain Commando is in the Street Fighter universe. There's the one wrestling game, which name I can't remember right now, but there's like a wrestling spin-off game. So there's but one of them is called Rival Schools, which was like a set in high school sort of Street Fighter game where basically every character is like a member of a different Japanese club. So you got like the golf character who is like a Street Fighter version of a golfer. You got like the tennis character who's like the Street Fighter version of a tennis player. Batsu was the main character, and it's literally like explicitly set in the Street Fighter universe. Sakura from Street Fighter is just there as a character because she goes to a school. So it's I want him in. His name is Batsu. Batsu. Give him a Google. You might go, oh yeah, I've seen that dude. He's pretty cool. I can hear you typing.
Batsu? Oh yeah.
Batsu.
I haven't seen him, but he looks cool.
Yeah, so he's just like a really cool, like rough and tumble sort of brawler, sort of a delinquent type, right? So he's real cool, and I hope he'd be in Street Fighter there.
Cool.
And they also announced Power Rangers is getting a 3rd season as well. So hey, that game is frickin' sweet, and we're getting our first character with a face.
Who?
Scorpina.
Scorpina?
So it's like the word scorpion, but with an A at the end.
Oh, her.
Yeah. So every other character in the game has a Power Rangers mask, so she's the first one with an actual face, and everyone's going, oh boy, time to see how good your facial animations can be.
Cool.
Yeah, just more fighting game seasons. Those make me happy.
All right. So Black Widow got delayed, obviously. Disney didn't want to lose out on all that money, so instead of just putting it on Disney Plus or something, they delayed it to November 6th, I think it was.
Okay.
I think all the MCU movies got pushed back.
Makes sense.
Adjust. But yeah, that's what I got to say on that.
All right. You might as well hit the second one while you're here because it's another movie one.
Well, you put this one down, so you talk about it.
All right. They announced that the Sonic movie sequel is in development, which, hey, yeah, makes sense. That movie ended on a cliffhanger. Kind of. It had a tease at the end. And sure, you know what? Looking back, that was a good film. Let's get more. And Jim Carrey was like, I need to be Eggman going full Eggman, so please give this to me. So, hey, I want that.
I still haven't seen the first one.
All I'll say is Sonic flosses twice in it.
Well, say no more.
Yeah, right? Now you have to go see it.
All right. That's it for Western news.
Speaking of the Disney there's a rumor going around, a pretty credible one by multiple like big actual mainstream sources, that Disney Plus is working on a Kingdom Hearts TV series.
Interesting.
Originally, I think it was, they said that they were going to be doing it in-house at Disney, but it fell through. And now apparently, guess who's making it?
Who?
Square Enix.
Oh.
Using, like, the in-game engine stuff.
Really?
Well, not the in-game engine, but like their pre-rendered sort of engine stuff.
Okay.
Which, honestly, that stuff looks amazingly gorgeous. So, yeah, I'm down for.
What story do you think it'll adapt?
Probably just the story of Kingdom Hearts 1. Can't see it going anywhere else.
That's fair.
Yeah. In scary news, Tencent, not content with just taking Platinum under their wing, has become the largest shareholder in Marvelous.
What does that mean?
Are you talking about being a shareholder or Marvelous?
Marvelous. Like, what does that mean?
They're a game
like,
developer.
What does that mean for us?
So, well, for me, they work on a lot of games I really like. Look up some Marvelous games there, and you'll see some of the games they've worked on. But for Tencent being the shareholder, it's the same thing they did with Platinum, where they're like, we're going to give you a whole bunch of money so that when you make money, we get money back, which Hideki Kamiya has been like, no, they don't literally give us any directions to do anything. It's just that they, gave us money and then hope to get money out of us, which should be fine. But Tencent comes from a country where they like to change the content of stuff quite a bit to fit their regulations. You know which one I'm talking about, right? Yeah, so I sure hope it doesn't end up changing some of those games I like.
Okay.
Did you look up some of Marvelous's games?
Yeah, didn't they make MV or no, not Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3?
No.
The logo looks familiar.
They worked on well, for one, they're the guys who are the actual developers of like Harvest Moon. So, Rune Factory, the Harvest Moon games. They work on Senran Kagura. They made Monster Hunter Stories. They were the makers of Daemon X Machina. They were the makers of the God Eater series. They did work on some Fate games here and there, which, hey, that makes me happy.
Daemon X Machina is where I remember them from.
Yeah. They apparently worked on the PC version of Skullgirls, which is like, hey, that's something for me. They apparently worked on some Pokemon games. I've never seen that. And they've also worked on a bunch of anime. So it's like they're a pretty big company with doing a lot of stuff that, is very apparent for me. Doesn't matter much for you or for, some of the other gamers, but I'm like, I don't want you to get rid of this company.
Okay.
Speaking of bad news, today's menu for the Emiya family got delayed indefinitely.
I have no idea what that means.
Give it a Google. Give that game a
Emiya
Google.
Family?
No, today's menu. That's what it's called. Today's menu for the Emiya family. That's the whole title. Give it a Google.
Today's menu. Oh, it's a food game.
It's the Fate cooking game.
Today's menu game. Okay.
It's the Fate cooking game for the Nintendo
your
Switch.
most anticipated game of the year, yeah.
Like, I was so excited for this, and there's no English release, but I'm absolutely buying it in every language that it comes out in. It is literally a Nintendo Switch Fate cooking game. Oh my god, and it got delayed indefinitely because of the stuff going on, and I'm real sad. But at the same time, the fact it's still coming, they're like, don't worry, we're still working on it, makes me happy.
That must suck.
What a perfect piece of media.
Perfect video game for you.
Speaking of awesome stuff that I'm kind of really excited for, Super Mario Lego.
Meh.
Dude, be honest. if you were like 7, this would be the coolest thing.
Sure. But I'm not 7, so I can't really.
But I'm 7 at heart, okay? I'm legitimately thinking of getting this.
Really?
Yeah, it looks so fun.
Yeah, but it looks so expensive.
Well, that's all Lego.
Well, like,
that's all Lego, dude.
It's electronic Lego.
It is. And did you see the different costumes you can give them?
Of course.
They're adorable. They're amazing.
We had to go and make those because can't get enough money.
Yep. I'm really interested in seeing where this goes. I hope for more Nintendo Lego.
It's not that expensive, actually. It's like
it's actually not. That's the thing. It's like I thought it'd be much worse.
It's like only $14 for those expansion packs.
Yep. And if you order, I think the Mario like the regular starter kit, you actually get a free expansion pack too. So hey, there you go. And that Bowser Castle set looks awesome.
I don't see it here.
Type in Lego Mario Bowser Castle. I think it might be called Bowser Jr. Castle. Lego Mario Bowser's Castle. Yeah, there it is. No, it's Lego Mario Bowser's Castle. That thing looks awesome. Dude, Lego Dry Bones. What a Chad.
I like how Bowser looks in Lego form.
The phrase Lego Dry Bones fills me with, like, joy. I love it. There's also a Bowser Jr. one where you get to fight him in a minigame.
Okay.
It's cool. I'm excited. I think that's a cool thing that is a good partnership. Speaking of partnerships, the final thing is something kind of really interesting. Japan's doing a thing called Project Pollyanna, which is a big anniversary thing for the Mother series. So right now, there's only a couple things that have been announced for it. Some of it's like the most nothing things. It's like t-shirts and bags, and it's like, okay. They did announce they're making a book. Now, here's the interesting thing. It's a book featuring art and stories by various people who love the Mother series, including a extended section on Toby Fox.
Hmm.
So there's an official, not only is, Sans in Smash with Ness, but now Toby Fox has worked on Pokemon and has, contributed his word on the Mother series. So I'm not saying he might be the one to make Mother 4, but it's possible.
Okay.
Because now he has a connection. And there's literally interviews of him sitting down with, like, Itoy and talking with him, which is like, wow, that's kind of cool. So that's neat. Not all the projects have been announced yet. Some people think it's going to end with, like, an announcement of, like, a Mother collection for the Switch or something, which probably won't come out in North America. Though there is the fact that they, we got the Mana collection had an untranslated SNES game be brought to the West. So who knows? There's always a possibility.
Yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
I mean, heck, the guy who made the Mother 3 fan translation has basically gone to Nintendo and said, I will give this translation to you for free. I will scrub myself out of it. You can do whatever you want, but I have the entire basis for it here. So,
but Nintendo doesn't like taking, like, other people's stuff.
They don't. No. They don't. But hey, times change too. So who knows? Maybe things will change for them.
Cool.
All right. Well, we're going to take our regularly scheduled break as we usually do here before we head off into our foreign exchange where we talk about Breaking Bad versus Mega Man ZX. So we will go grab our water, go for a stretch. We'll come back. We'll play some music for you in the meantime. It'll just be like we're by each other, except for the fact that we're not. Okay? All right, so we will see you guys in a second. Now. All right. And hello, everyone. We are back. I hope you enjoyed that song, the one I'm going to pick right now, because I know what song I want it to be. That was Green Grass Gradation from Mega Man ZX, which is one of my favorite songs in the entire series. I'm sure you know which one it is.
There are a few songs.
You would have heard it.
Is it like the main?
It's like the do 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 do.
I think so. Yeah.
That song is so good. And the DS, like the one on the DS there is pretty good, but then they did a full CD quality version, and oh my gosh, so good. So hi, this is our foreign exchange. If you're new to this is where we exchange something with the other person. We then get their thoughts and ideas on it. Last time we had a bit of time. I was given season 1 of Breaking Bad, and I gave Adrian my copy of the Mega Man ZX collection, where I told him specifically to play Mega Man ZX, not the Zero games, because, well, it's Dark Souls, where this is a bit easier. So I think because I looked at Breaking Bad first, I will get started.
Okay, I'm very interested to hear everything.
So I watched the first season of Breaking Bad and about 3/4 of the second season.
Which episode did you stop at?
I will have to check because I didn't watch it as close as the first season, as my requirement was done. But I said, yeah, I'll just keep putting it on. Gave me something to kind of watch in the background there. Let me take a look at the episodes, Breaking Bad episodes there, because of course I wasn't paying as much attention. I got to let's see. I think I got up to Peekaboo.
Okay.
So episode 6 there in that season.
I wanted you to get to Better Call Saul. So
so here's the thing. I will.
You will.
I absolutely will. And the reason is, I loved this show.
Wow.
I think it's the best thing you've given me.
Really?
It is absolutely amazing television.
It really is.
It is shot so good. It is, the writing is so interesting. The characters are really good. The one thing that I love is the use of music is really good, but I will say that's the reason I need subtitles, is because they'll play a song in the background and I won't recognize it. I don't know music, but with subtitles it'll say the name of the song starts playing and I'll go, oh my god, it makes so much sense. There's symbolism there, right? It's really good. However, this is a show I need to take breaks from.
Oh yeah.
It is a show where I need to go and say, that's enough for now. I want to scream.
It gets a lot worse. In the good way.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, and that's a good thing. The characters are really interesting, but every single one is dramatically flawed.
That's
to a point where I'm like, there's not a single one that I'm like, you're a good person. You're all kind of awful in your own unique ways.
Yeah, that's why one of my roommates, she can't watch it because she needs someone to root for, and you can't root for anyone in the show.
No, absolutely not. There's there's not a single person that you can kind of ground yourself on to be like, okay, you are the morally right one. No. Yeah. And one thing that I get from this show is it almost feels like a critique of American culture.
Really?
It does. It feels like an absolute critique of America. Because, the jokes have been said a million times, but this show could not happen in Canada.
No, absolutely not. No.
Because it would literally be like, oh, you need your money for cancer? All right. Well, here, join this plan and you can get it for free. Or, hey, you're a teacher. That's covered. Because, the fact that he is a teacher and his qualifications, and he's teaching at a high school, and that's not enough for getting cancer stuff done, is absolutely bonkers for where we live. Like, if I needed to go in for cancer treatment, I wouldn't need to do what he has to do. That's nuts. As I said in one of my tweets, the real thing that's breaking and bad is the American healthcare system. Absolutely. So Walter White he is a character that I thought was a good guy at first. And then I quickly realized, oh no, you're not. Because he's given options out. He's given ways, but his pride definitely gets in the way.
The moment, like what you're talking about right now, the moment that sprung into my mind is the moment where he kills Crazy 8.
A little bit there, yeah?
Yeah, that's the first major decision like that, like I think veers him into that bad mentality direction that you'll see much more of.
And even when he's given a sort of a path out through like his partners there who are like, hey, you know, buddy, if you need the money, we'll help you. And that could have been a very easy, oh, that'd be so nice. Yo, you are the best. Thank you. But no. And he doesn't do that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that would have been another way out, but that really goes into his character. It's not even about the cancer at that point. It's about much more.
Yeah, the reveal of like the plate and the piece missing out of the plate and realizing what's going on. Just like these like, see, I'm like, again, I love the details and everything. And this show has so many of that.
Oh yeah.
That like, it's like,
it's really good to watch. And it's definitely a show that as I go through it, I really definitely, you know, I want to watch more because I'm legitimately intrigued to see where it goes for these characters. Now, do I believe that there is a good path that any of them will ever end up on? No, not really. I think the only one who I think may come out slightly okay is, and don't tell me if I'm right or wrong because I'm predicting, the only one who I think might turn out okay is Walter Jr., because he's only just kind of a jerk right now. But judging by your laugh there, I don't think that's going to be the case.
I'm not saying anything, but I want, when you're done this series, I want you to watch El Camino.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that's a
an epilogue,
good sort of denouement there.
Yeah. So I want to say character names, and I want you to tell me your thoughts on them.
Okay, so first off, I will need to pull up a chart because I'm terrible at names that are English. Yo, give me a Japanese anime and I'll tell you anything, you know, about any of them. But when it comes to these American names, I can't. I'm going to go Breaking Bad Season 1 characters. Okay. I need to just see a nice side-by-side picture of them. Okay, IMDb, don't fail me now.
You might spoil yourself, so don't.
No, I'm just looking at Season 1, which I've watched. So, shoot, there's no character chart. I'm going to type literally in character chart. Like, some of them I'll definitely know. Okay, you can go.
Okay, so Walter White.
All right, character that at first seems very sympathetic, but then you realize he is a much more broken individual than you could possibly imagine. I did not expect to see him, or rather his actor, get into nearly as many sexual encounters as what happens. I've seen more of him than I really ever wanted to. It is definitely something that I was not very comfortable with at times and closed my eyes because I do not want to see old man butt.
And his character is definitely not even halfway through his change yet.
Oh, so. Absolutely. Because I've seen sort of the, the pictures of what he becomes, and that is not what he is here at all.
Mm-hmm. Jesse.
So, I definitely will say this is a character who I would say more sympathetic than Walter. Like I am more sympathetic for him. However, he makes bad ideas, or rather goes through with bad ideas. And it's definitely a thing where I'm just like, man, I want him to get the chances to be better, but things happen and he's not. It feels like he might be in almost a little too deep at time, and it's like, oh man, just the one episode in season 2 there where he's just like kicked out of his house and he's going around everywhere looking for any place to stay the night was one of the most heartbreaking things ever, because it's like, wow, you literally have no one or nowhere. It was like, dang, if only you didn't make the decision to deal with drugs,
We're definitely going to be talking about this once, like, next time. Like, as you watch through, I want to talk about this because, like, there's a lot of things that happen in this show that I love.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, but I don't want to say anything about Jesse because, like a lot happens to him, like a lot. So,
okay.
Hank.
Oh, I hate him.
Really?
I hate Hank so much. He is the definition of a power-tripping cop.
Yeah.
Every time he's on screen, I want to strangle something. He is just so high up his own ass. And then when we get to how his wife is shoplifting and how he's like, oh, we're working through it. Well, meanwhile, he's trying to send people to jail for the pettiest of stuff. I wanted to scream.
Skylar.
Oh wait, that's Walter's wife. So at first I was like, oh, finally, you're the grounded one. And then I realized, wait, no, you're not. And you can't even, like, at first I was like, okay, at least, you get the thing of you're pregnant, so you can go with that a bit. But there was just times where I was like, man, you also make bad decisions. I agreed with her as kind of the moral stance for a while, but then I realized there was a big moment of, oh my god, just talk, where she was trying to, be like, I'm not listening to you because you're going out and doing stuff. And he's like, I will tell you what they are. And she's like, I'm not listening to you, but you should tell me. But and I'm like, it was frustrating. I do, though, definitely out of all the characters, I'd say right now she is the one that is the most morally grounded, but she still makes bad middle-aged white woman in America decisions.
People generally hate this character for the thing she's going to do later too. So
yeah, I could see that.
Walt Jr.
Okay, so
has the breakfast thing been solidified yet?
The breakfast thing?
There's a whole meme where it's like he's obsessed with breakfast.
Oh yeah, he loves breakfast.
Yeah.
I would definitely say Walter Jr. is interesting because, I mean, you get a little bit of who he is, but I don't think I got enough to really sort of solidify what he's going through. I definitely need more info because either he's having a real tough time with what's happening in his family, or there's some other stuff going on. I don't know which. And so right now I'm on the fence with him. I do think he is an interesting character, though, in terms of the fact that, like, sometimes he's home and sometimes he's not, and just the situations that arise from that.
Okay. I'm just seeing there's like a character. I'm not sure if he appeared in what you've seen yet.
Say his name.
Mike. No.
Name doesn't ring a bell.
Whew, wow, he's late game. Never mind. Sorry, I'm just clicking through here.
I can say right now, Marie is a horrible person.
She's like the main one left here.
She is terrible, and I hate her.
That
whole side of the family is actually the worst. They remind me so much of my actual, like, one of my aunts and uncles that drive me to insanity, and they're the exact same, and I hate it. It's the exact same sort of uppity, and I hate to use the word, but they are just white people power tripping. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is a show set in America. They feel like they can do whatever they want because, hey, they're not like those Mexicans who are ruining everything. It's like, really gets my goat.
So what was your favorite moment out of what you've watched so far?
Well, there's a couple of characters that you missed, buddy.
Have I? I'm just looking at this main characters one.
There's a big one.
Never mind. I'm just looking at main characters right now, so just let me see if I can find.
Well, for one, let me just say, when Badger appeared, I went, oh my god, I recognize this guy. Where have I seen him or heard him before? And the answer is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yep.
He plays, and they, perfect character casting, because that is like the perfect choice for Wedge. And I'm like, oh man, yep, that's him. So every time he's on screen, I'm like, yeah, it's Wedge. But can we talk a bit about Tuco?
Yes, we can.
Tuco is the scariest villain I have ever seen.
Tanner, there are way scarier villains in this show you're gonna come to find. I have a
very hard time being able to understand that, for the fact that Tuco is the scariest villain I have ever seen. He is so balls to the walls bonkers. And the scenes with his grandpa and the pointing and those stuff in Mexico, I was screaming.
That's one of my favorite episodes of the series.
Oh my god. Just the tension was so thick, where it's like they're trying to secretly kill this insane, coke snorting dude. And when, they have a plan, and then Jesse screws it up by saying they put in, chili pepper or something? And he's just like, I hate chili, I'm not gonna snort this. And it's like, there was poison in there, they were so close.
I love the end of that episode where it does the bell ring.
Yeah.
Where, Tuco gets killed by Hank, and then it just cuts to black, and then you hear the dinging of his bell.
It is, he's scary. And honestly, if as you say, they're scarier, that's incredible.
There's a late game villain that's incredibly, he's not Tuco scary, but he's a different type of terrifying.
Yeah, Tuco is just the most chaotic character in a grounded series I've ever seen. He will just do stuff and go so hard, it's terrifying. Now, am I correct that Tuco was the guy that appeared in the Better Call Saul episodes I watched?
Yes, he's in the first season there.
Thought I recognized him from there. Very, very, very different character.
Yeah. Because he gets thrown to jail during Better Call Saul and then comes out around the events of Breaking Bad. Okay.
Yeah, as I said, no, this show is really, really, really good. The story genuinely makes me want to watch it, though, as I say, I do need to take breaks. Just from the events that take place. But it is the cinematography is amazing. I do love just how it looks. It has a look to it that's really good.
I love the look of Vince Gilligan's shows. Better Call Saul in this one.
No, it's really good, and it's something that I can throw on and just I did a deeper watch of the first season, but then I quickly realized, one, I still can't stand how long American shows are. I have an attention span of 22 minutes, so I need those short episodes. But these ones I do like to watch. And once I started just watching them kind of a little bit more just I say casually, but it'll just be instead of sitting and, taking in everything, I'll sit up, I'll lay down, I'll, maybe check my phone, I'll play a couple things on my Switch that are not super intensive. And I love that. It's definitely a show I can definitely watch for that. Though I do have to, rewind occasionally and go like, whoa, wait, that would seem like a big thing. I should see that. So it's
all I'm saying like right now is like you've seen nothing yet.
Oh, I know, and I'm not even done the second season, so I got a lot more to go through. But no, it's a dang good show.
When you're done season 2, tell me, and I'm gonna blow your mind with something. Okay.
All right. Well, I mean, like I'll keep watching this, on whenever I have time. Whenever I have something to sit down with and watch. It's not something I'm going to be, super going through and working on. It's just something in the background to watch. Because honestly, there's nothing else coming out right now because of the thing that's happening. So, hey, time to catch up on some stuff. So
there you go. Cool. Anything else you want to say on it, or?
I still stand by. It's probably the best thing you've given me to check out.
Wow. Better than Club Penguin?
Well, those are different. Those are good for different reasons.
Okay. So it's my turn now?
It is.
Okay. So I played Mega Man ZX, or ZX in Canada. Played about 2 hours and 30 minutes of it. I got to the Guardian HQ.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if like I like to take time with my games, so I don't know if that's like...
Yeah, because I didn't remember that taking me 2 hours to get to, but then again, I played through it pretty quickly.
I had troubles like starting out because I didn't know how to defeat that snake boss at the beginning. And it was a very big difficulty curve for me, because the Mega Man games I've played have been pretty easy, pretty like just jump and shoot. But this one, it's like, well, you got to make sure you like you dodge and the dash and all that, which I really like that dash.
So that dash comes in with like the X series, and it goes like in X it's pretty good. In Zero, it's like they crank it up to be like the crux of the gameplay is around that dash, and then ZX is like a sequel to Zero pretty much in everything.
Yeah, I had no idea it was a DS game until I saw the second screen at the bottom.
What do you think it was?
I thought it was like some sort of NES or SNES game.
No, like it's a DS game.
Love the music.
Oh man, it's Mega Man music, but yeah, like I said, Green Grass Gradation, which is like one of my favorite themes ever. It's the theme of the cutscene where they first transform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like that one there, and then the music keeps going from the cutscene onwards. Oh, so good.
It did feel like the backgrounds were a bit busy.
Okay, I could see that.
It was a bit confusing where there were doors that weren't shaded, not shaded incorrectly, but like they didn't give me and instantly be like, this door is locked or this door isn't. I'd have to like go up and walk up to it and say it for it to tell me it's locked, and then I'd have to move on.
No, for sure.
There's a bit of graphic. Well, it's on the DS too, right? So I can't blame it too much. But really like the gameplay. I didn't discover yet. I'm an idiot, I know, but like I didn't realize I had the charge shot until like the third go around of fighting sick boss.
That would make it a lot easier.
Yeah, I realized that too, and I did. So
okay, yeah, that would definitely change that up. So did you get another form?
No, I never got any like serious upgrades while I played.
Okay, so in this game, your upgrades are literally changing into different characters.
Yeah, because I did the changing into like my regular mode and the Mega Man mode, I guess.
Yeah.
In the city there, which I had to find like all the 5 people.
Oh, you did the side quests in the city?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I never did those.
Oh, I love to do like all the side stuff first.
Fair enough. It's a different way of playing. I ended up doing them just later on once I had all the powers, because I know there was one I got to where it's like you need a power that you don't have, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll come back once I get all the powers to play with.
Mm-hmm. I did like the Metroidvania aspect of it. I got really comfortable with it by the time I hit the Guardian HQ. Mm-hmm. It is a bit like, where exactly am I type thing, but again, it's a early DS game. So
Yeah. And ZX Advent, the other game there, definitely makes it a bit easier to sort of know where you're going with all that. So it is something that they improved on.
Trying to think of anything else. Do you have anything else?
What did you think of like the actual like characters and like character design and stuff?
No one's really stuck out to me too much.
Okay.
Prairie and there's some characters I'm not sure who are male and female.
That's totally understandable. And also at this point, it doesn't really matter because they're all robots anyways.
Because I thought your boss or whatever his name
Jiro.
is. I thought he was a girl for the longest time.
Jiro is the hottest looking dude.
He really is. Yeah, then there's Prairie. And then there's the side characters, like the people you had to find and all that. Yeah, there's no one that really sticks out to me yet.
Okay.
I do want to
play as Vent or Ale?
Vent.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like a aesthetic choice more than anything. Okay. It's actually in ZX Advent, it actually really changes the story, but in the first game, it's literally just like it really doesn't change anything.
Okay. Yeah, like I started like way too late, and I'm like, I thought I had enough time, then I got a bunch of calls from work that I had to cover, so
fair enough.
I wanted to have more time with the game, but I didn't due to life circumstances, so
okay.
But what I did play, I enjoyed.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Well, you know what? It's kind of I think it's nice to kind of, a lot of people think of Mega Man as either just classic or, X there, but I like to really, show off that there is a lot more to the series.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mega Man games.
There are. I mean, heck, if you look at them on the actual like Switch itself, like you have a collection of 1 through 10 of the classic. You have 11. You have X1 through X8. You have this collection which is 0, 1 through 4, ZX and ZX Advent. And there's hints that they're making the Battle Network collection, which will be Battle Networks 1 through 6. And each of those have 2 versions for half of them because they're like Pokemon style. So yeah, it's a good number of games. There was a time when Mega Man games were coming out so often that people would say, another Mega Man game. And now people are like, please just give us one more.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
All right. Well, are we ready to talk about what our next one will be?
Kind of.
I am.
What's that? What are you giving me?
Well, okay, so I guess I'll go first. Ask me questions and I will lead you down a path.
Video game?
Nope.
Movie?
Nope.
TV show?
Yes.
Anime?
Yes.
Where do I go from here?
Netflix.
Is it Netflix?
It is Netflix.
I don't watch anime on Netflix, so I
hope it does. Okay, I'm going to post a link in the chat. I sure hope that it doesn't autocorrect to say what it is. Okay? Shit, it does.
It just gave me a link.
Oh, it comes up for me though.
Oh no, it's Fate.
It is? Now, here's the thing, okay? So as I said, Fate Zero is the one that is, they said, closest to Western live action media.
I said again, sorry, it played music.
Sorry, it is the closest to Western live action media in terms of themes and how it's shot. It is very anti-anime. Okay. So, because of that, I do really want to hear your thoughts on it. Now, as I said, you don't need knowledge of Fate going in. The only thing I'll say is, and this is just to provide a little bit of backstory. Now, you did watch the, you didn't really watch it, but you remember we watched the Fate movie together?
I watched that. I didn't.
Okay, so you know the main character, Shiro with the orange hair?
No.
Okay, yeah, he's honestly not, okay, I'll show a picture of him. This guy with the orange.
Kind of.
Okay, so he was literally the main character. His dad is the main character of Fate Zero. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
That's all the only context I'll give you. Okay? So now it is 2 seasons, technically, because it's like 26 episodes. I will say if you can watch at least 14, and the reason is quite simple. The first season is quite good and it wraps up nicely, with the exception of the fact it literally ends mid-fight for the first season in a horrible place, literally while a attack is about to start and then it stops. If you just go on to episode 14, it finishes that fight pretty much, and then you're like, okay, we're good. So that's what I'd say. 22-minute episodes.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Are we doing that?
And feel free to share any thoughts you have in our Fate Discord channel.
Sure.
Just any questions, because you might have some questions.
Probably
doesn't
will.
fully explain the systems to people who didn't read the original visual novel, but for the most part, I think you should get it. You're a smart lad.
Okay. My turn?
Yes.
All right.
So judging from the questions you asked me between our little break here, I will assume it's a game.
Yeah.
And it's a game for my PC.
Yes. It's a bit of a last minute choice, again, because I'm terrible at coming up with stuff like that I think you'd be into.
Okay.
But this is something there's no general direction.
I think I know what it is.
Yes, it's something I've recently discovered for myself.
Oh, well, maybe
and
not
I feel that I think we'd enjoy playing it, at least. Just screwing around. There's generally nothing I really want you to bring back. Like, no thoughtful discussion. It's kind of like a Club Penguin.
Is it VR chat?
It is.
It is. I thought so. All right. Well,
that'd be fun for us to play.
After this, go and download that and find a model to play around in.
I feel like if we can get the boys together,
that'd be fun.
We could just play it. Because I feel like you should play it because it's like kind of just stupid, hilarious fun.
So I actually have a thing called Leap Motion, which is hand controls. Like you wave your hand in front of your screen and it like can sync up with VR chat. I'm gonna see if I can do that. See if I can get hand controls going.
That'd be funny. Because like there's like I did mention like a really silly moment, but there was like another moment where like there's this person who was just like a good singer just singing on the side there, and just singing to a bunch of people, and it's like he was a generally good singer. So there's just like these little pockets of like human interaction that are like so cool.
I mean, I could run around as Saber in there.
Yeah, I've been run. Like okay, there was a moment where I was in like I obviously went into a JoJo world and all that. I got the avatars, whatever, and then this like person walks up. I don't remember what they were, but they had a Roblox stand. And their stand ability was to do the coffin dance, but as Roblox sounds.
Oh my god.
Like the stupidest, most funny thing ever.
Yeah, that sounds like we'll have a good time there.
I feel like
we'll organize a time with the boys.
One thing, there is a thing I do want to bring back after if we get anything from it. It's purely coincidental if it actually happens, but like just how like deep you can get into the game, and like when I was playing it, it felt like you could like live in this world.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's
and it's honestly something I was kind of interested in looking at anyways, so I will gladly do that.
And especially nowadays where like you can't get into these big groups anymore and have these conversations, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a timely pick. Like now that I think about it, it's a good pick.
Is it on Steam?
I think it's its own website, but you can download it to Steam.
Okay.
Could you just type in VR chat?
I'll get it all installed. I swore it was a Steam thing.
Yeah, it says play on Steam here. If you just go to their main website.
Oh, you have to register for an account on it. Okay. Oh yeah, no, it totally is in Steam. In fact, I might even have it actually, and that's why I can't search for it.
All right.
All right, so next time we are looking at Fate Zero and VR chat. Nice. That's going to be a fun time.
It will.
Okay. So I think now we have questions. So yes. I think we just have the one here. So, well, we'll go through this one. I'll read it here. Okay. This one comes from Kirby. Oh, like the actual Kirby? Like the Puyo Kirby?
Puyo.
Wow. Hey, Adrian and Tanner, it's Kirby. I hope you two are doing well. I'm so happy Adrian got a new computer that you guys can do the podcast again. Ships Were Wise, my favorite podcast, and while I did find another one to fill in the gap, it hasn't been the same. I know, we have our own. We're so special, I know. Thank you. Anyways, now for my question. I was hoping to play a bunch of games and watch a bunch of shows during quarantine since there's not much else to do. However, I ended up taking an absolutely brutal coding class this quarter, which has left me with very little free time. I've been pretty much just playing Animal Crossing very sporadic bursts for the past couple months, even though I really want to get a bunch of other games this spring. My question is, are there any games you're really looking forward to or have been meaning to get to that you just never played for any reason? Thank you.
So there's two questions here.
Kirby. Is there two?
Oh yeah, there's like what game are you most looking forward to, and what haven't you played yet that you want to play?
Oh, well, I took this more as just what game were like you really looking forward to, but then just didn't get a chance to play because of time commitments, right?
Link's Awakening remake. Still haven't played that.
Okay,
Persona 5 Royal.
That's one. I have not touched Persona 5 Royal.
Like that's a game I need to set a huge chunk of time aside for.
Yep, also, like I have my PS4 setup connected to my PC here, so I can record, it was Final Fantasy VII and Sakura Wars, and I don't like to sit and sort of chill with my PS4 at my PC, so I need to beat Sakura Wars, and then I can chill out with it back at my actual TV.
Yeah, I'm gonna start it after I finish Cadence of Hyrule. So, what else?
Shovel Knight, the final campaign. I have not touched it.
Oh, me neither. I haven't touched Plague Knight yet either.
Like that's one that I was excited for that I haven't touched. The new Shantae game, that's another one that I was like super excited for, and I hear is amazing, but it's like I don't have time for it.
Like God, super recently, like Xenoblade.
Yeah, Xenoblade. I have no time for Xenoblade. I still haven't beat Xenoblade 2 or The Golden Country.
I haven't played those games yet and have them.
Yeah, like it's like just too many games.
Yeah, I'm like looking so forward to playing Xenoblade, like to actually play it, because I've tried it before, but I haven't gotten into it because I think I played it before you introduced me to this amazing world of JRPGs.
Yeah.
So now that like I'm in that mindset, I can like properly enjoy it.
There's like a billion download games that I'm like, I just don't have time for. Like there's like old games too. Like I've got all the games on like the Super Nintendo library on the Switch there, and I'm like, I want to go and actually like play them.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't have time for that. There's all the Sega Ages games, right? It's like there's so many. I'm just looking here. The worst is I have tons of games that I've bought that I'm not going to touch for a while. It's like I'm like I will get to. Oh, guess what I just bought?
What?
I just bought the Yakuza Remastered Collection.
Oh my god, you're going to have no time to play those.
Well, here's the thing. They're backwards compatible on the PS5, so at least I have a whole other console generation to get to them.
That's fair.
I literally own Yakuza 0 through 6. And so it's like, I want to play them. I just don't. I need to set aside time for them.
Uh-huh. I'm just looking over at my collection, since I can't look over at yours.
Yeah, it's true. You normally are that to sort of try and come up with answers.
There's moments where I'm like, oh yeah, I want to get this game now. Can't wait to play it. And then you don't touch it for like a year.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, that happens. And it's like, yeah, true. It's like one of the things I was like, man, now that I'm doing this online teaching thing, I'll have so much time. And it's like, no. You really don't, because I need to do hourly calls to people. So now it's like 3:30 hits, and I'm like, I'm done. You cannot talk to me anymore.
Yeah, like there's like I have an entirely new world of gaming at my fingertips now with the PC.
That's true.
Like
yeah.
I want to get the Halo Master Chief Collection.
Oh, buddy, I need to get back to Halo 2. Like, that game is still so good.
Like, there's like so many. It's a good problem to have, though. But I just wish I had more time. I also wish I just had a better attention span so I can get through games faster.
That's true.
I have a terrible attention span that like makes me mad sometimes.
For sure. I think we about answered that question pretty good. We got a good number here.
Okay.
Okay. So thanks, Kirby. Thank you for the question. And if you have questions, you can send them to
you say it. Say it.
shipsworldwidepodcast at gmail.com.
Nope.
Yeah, that's why I was waiting for you.
Let me check.
It's been a while, okay?
Yeah.
It's been a little bit.
shipswwpodcast at gmail.com.
shipswwpodcast at gmail.com.
Yes.
That's the one. All right. So we're going to be signing off soon. However, we do have I think you have some spoilers you'd like to talk about.
Yes. I recently, very recently caught up finally to JoJo after a year and a half. To the very latest chapter of JoJolion. So if you're not caught up, which I apparently, like everyone I know isn't caught up. So even for you, Tanner, I'm not going to go too far.
Okay.
I'm just going to go to the place where you're at, unless you don't care about spoilers.
Dude, JoJo spoilers to me are the most like, they just make me want to read it more. So go on ahead.
Okay. Well,
dude, I literally started to know about JoJo with what happens at the end of part 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. So if anything, it made me really want to know more. So,
okay.
And if you're the same, if you don't care, you can stick around. If you do, then we will say goodbye to you now. But otherwise,
2 weeks? We're doing every second Sunday again?
I think we'll do every second. Yeah.
Okay. So next time, come and hear us talk about VR chat and Fate, along with the PS5 stuff that's going to happen.
Yeah, maybe and probably a whole bunch of other stuff, because you never know what will just randomly be given to you.
Apparently, June's going to be a big month according to some leakers, so we'll see. But yeah, thanks for listening. And if you don't want to hear JoJo stuff, I'm going to start in a few seconds here. So, where have you... Okay, are you going to count down like you usually do, Tanner?
Sure, then we will go into spoiler territory in...
All right.
3, 2, 1, spoiler time.
All right. So where did you leave off on?
Literally, the head doctor got into the bus and was driving away.
So that's pretty far back.
I know, it's been a while.
I'm just going to the website here.
For sure.
So I don't remember the last time where I left off last time, but
I think you just got to the chick who has Love Deluxe.
Oh yeah, Love Deluxe. Yeah, that's a while ago. Lots has happened since then. Where is it? That's the Japanese version. There we go. So right now it's on the Endless Calamity arc, which sounds very final.
It does a bit, but isn't it just... Actually, I don't know, because I'm not there.
You're in the middle of the Wonder of You arc.
Okay.
So, Love Deluxe. Wow, that was a while ago, jeez. So what's happened since then is the Vitamin C and Killer Queen arc. That Vitamin C stand is like terrifying.
Yeah, that one's scary. That was when I started reading JoJolion, I made the horrible idea of I'm just gonna hop in halfway and see if I can understand it. And I started at Vitamin C, and I'm like, I don't.
It reminds me of Trisha's stand on like evil.
Yeah,
Trisha's
it's
stand.
like it's definitely like an evil version of Trisha's stand.
So then that'll happen, and then we had a little tiny arc of the Milagro Man arc. If you remember that one.
Nope. It's been a hot minute.
It it was Joshu. Joshu was the center of the arc, and he had like a stand haunting him that like the more he wanted to give away money, the more he kept getting it until it literally drowned him.
Right. Yes, I remember that one.
Yeah, and the only way you could get rid of it is to give money to someone, and they accepted it.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a weird arc. I don't know what came of that one. It kind of just came and went. I feel like Araki just wanted to throw in a cool stand.
It's a filler chapter. Sometimes he wants to do one of those.
Then we do what's the stand name? Blue Hawaii. The one where things are just coming towards you. Like,
yes.
Just unrelentlessly. Like being possessed by someone or something. That was a terrifying stand. Like a lot of stands in this part are like genuinely scary.
Remember when I said it's sort of like a horror part? Like that's kind of what it feels like. It feels like it really is like a Twin Peaks style horror season.
Which is really, I really like that.
Yeah.
It's like the complete opposite of part 4.
Oh, absolutely.
Really
Part 4 was like, Part 4, nothing really had super huge consequences, where this one, it's like, you look at the stuff that's happening, you're like, oh, this is terrifying.
And then the plant appraiser, Rai,
yes.
The Joe Bro of this part, I think people call him.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's cool. I like him.
Yeah.
The one he was introduced with is, or the enemy stand was like Urban Gorilla. And Dore Mifasoleti Do, which is the rock animal, that giant one. That was like a tractor.
One is cool, but also doesn't feel super JoJo-y.
What do you mean?
Like, it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's like with because we have the rock people, and I was like, okay, but now we have the rock animals, and I'm like, it's starting to feel a bit not, like, because we have stands already. Like, do we need another whole set of, like, creature battle things?
I feel like it's more just to set in, like, the fact that the rock people are a race of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And after that, we learned a little bit about the hair clip that Yasuho had, and that was a rock animal.
Yeah.
I feel that was a bit of a weird thing, but now it's coming back recently.
Yep.
The current part. And then we have Ozone Baby, or Ozone. Oh, what's it called? I don't remember. The one where it just like sucks the air out of everything, I think.
Yeah, that one is actually, it's pretty straightforward, it feels like. Like, out of all the weird stands, it's like, this one gets rid of the oxygen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can understand that. I don't need paragraphs to get that one.
It's basically just weather report, but that specific ability, you know?
Yep.
Then the orchid burned down that had the Rakakaka branch. And then someone took it, but Jobin took it. But everyone thought the person in the ambulance took it.
Yeah, so that's when people definitely started to think, like, is Jobin the villain of the part?
Yeah, Beat says he considers Jobin the main villain, but recently it's definitely almost confirmed who the main villain is. But I'll get to that. Then after that, Dr. Wu and Awakening 3 Leaves happened. The one where like he just turns into like dust, rock dust, and can go anywhere. Mm-hmm. That was a unique one. Awakening 3 Leaves is have you seen what that stand looks like? You remember what that stand looks like?
I don't remember what it looks like. Let me take a look here. Awakening 3 Leaves JoJo.
It's the one where it has a bunch of arrows on it.
Oh yeah, this one's so cool.
It's a bit of a weird stand, but I kind of understand it more now. It just directs energy with those arrows.
Yeah, no, this one's really cool. I like this one quite a bit. Just it's how it looks.
And then after that, the Wonder of You arc starts, and like the whole ability with what is it? So like you said, your last part where the head doctor was in the car running away. Do you know what
in the bus?
Yeah. Do you know what the stand ability-ish thing is?
No. All I knew is that it made things stop you if you tried to chase him, right?
Yes, things knocked into you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the part where you don't know anymore. Like this, I'm going to get into stuff you don't even know.
That's fine.
So, like after the bus thing, like they decide like we can't keep following him. It's too dangerous. And then someone comes up to Josuke, and it was another thing that knocks into him. But then all of a sudden, the guy just dies in front of the hospital. And then then the police are after him and he's on the run, basically. And then the next time we catch him, he's with he's in Rai's Lamborghini in a tree. And they're just like, how do we like get close to the head doctor and everything? And then the stand that appeared for a split second behind them.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was though.
Yeah, that appears again in the car. And they deduct that, like, even if you think about pursuing this head doctor, that stand appears and that effect starts. And, like, it started, and they're like, oh, what's going to hit us? Like, we know something's going to come in contact with us to try to stop us. And it started raining, and it was the rain that was, like, killing them. And Josuke ends up almost dying.
Yeah, like I think I read a little bit more because I remember seeing Josuke getting messed up from that rain.
Yeah, and then he's in the hospital, and he meets up with Holly, and then realizes, like, hey, Holly's my mom, and I need to, like, this is the end goal of, like, why I need this Rakaka to, like, heal her. And he takes so they have the Rakaka in, like, a liquid form now. It's called, like, the Lokaka or whatever.
Okay.
Lokaka 625. And he takes that, and I don't know if you've seen the recent art. He has, like, rocks on his face now.
Josuke?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Yeah, he's, like... There's a rock in his eye and 2 on the side of his face now that are, like, permanently there. And then he's like, you know what? I can't pursue the head doctor, but he can come towards me. So he just sits down and waits for him to come.
Yo, that's cool.
And then after that... they split off from Josuke for a bit. Because Yasuho goes to... She discovers that Jobin took the Rakaka branch. And she ends up being, like this is big spoilers I'm about to get into. Like, she almost drowns. Like, she discovers the whole thing with Tsurugi. Is that how you pronounce it? The rock thing is officially, like, in him. Like, he's transforming into the rock thing. And then Jobin takes... Yeah, the way Yasuho gets into the thing is she brings Paisley Park into, like, a tiny cell phone. And then Jobin throws the cell phone into the water, into the toilet, and flushes it. And Yasuho is literally drowning outside. And, like, her arm falls off and everything. And she's dying. And, what's her name? The mom. Jobin's wife. The one with the Awakening 3 Leaves. Mitsuba.
Yeah.
She comes and saves her for a little bit. Oh yeah, there was the whole thing before the Wonder View arc starts where, like, Norsuke is literally dead. Yeah.
I remember I got to see... I think I got to see Norisuke die, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. So it's leading up to that. So yeah, Mitsuba saves Yasuo a little bit, but then the head doctor appears again, just randomly. And then bad things just start happening. And Mitsuba puts it together that, like, if you see the back of the head doctor, like, calamity will start happening around you. Like, bad things will start happening around you. So what happened there is that'll happen. And then the Rakaka branch that Jobin was building, or hiding, falls out in front of everyone. Like, the entire Higashikata family.
Well, that's really embarrassing.
Jobin kills Norsuke with Speed King, and that's how he dies. And I'm like, oh no, I didn't want Norisuke was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, he's great.
There was a separate arc where you remember the guy like the first stand battle with Fun.
Yeah.
I think you read that already. Where he kills them and all that. That I was like, how is this going to play into the overall thing, right? And then the Endless Calamity arc starts. And then it's put together that the head doctor's stand is him. It's the old man that's been appearing everywhere.
Really?
And it's still unclear because like where we're at now is that, do you remember Tori?
Yeah, I remember Toru.
He's also involved. In a very,
I never trusted him from the get-go.
At the very end of the current chapter, he's listening to The Wonder of You, the song by Elvis Presley. And then it switches to Crazy Train by, I can't remember his name. You know the song.
Yeah, well, that's, no, God, what's his name? Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne, yeah. And he's literally watching Yasuo writhe on the ground because she still has her arm missing and she's like almost dead. So the thing with this stand, seems to be two stands at play here. The head doctor stand that does the calamity stuff around you, and the one that knocks into you.
Yeah.
But I think it's still so unclear. So it's based on karma. So depending,
what?
Yeah, it gets wild. So depending on how much karma you have, determines how how hard you get hit by the things knocking into you. So say you're like this good Samaritan, like maybe a pebble will fly into you, but over time you'll eventually die. But say, so
that's so Iraqi.
But so Rai gets imprisoned by the police because he was the one who let Josuke escape, but he got imprisoned, and he was in the cell with this like serial murderer, right? And Rai's explained like, hey, we're being attacked by this stand. Like the old man is literally outside. If I look at him, bad things will start to happen. And he's like, and the guy's like, no, I don't believe you. I hate you. And then he's like, okay, I'll look. He looks, and then all of a sudden, the guy starts to freak out. He starts to like get crazy, and then he like stabs himself in the chest and dies. Because it's based on karma, right?
Yeah. So
like, depending how bad of a person you are, you die quicker by the things knocking into you.
Huh.
It's like, and people are theorizing that stand, like the head doctor stand, like the main stand of the main antagonist stand is called Crazy Train. And I like that.
Haven't we already had that?
Okay, so Jesus' stand, Love Train, works similarly if you think about it.
You're right, Love Train. That's what I'm thinking of.
That's the thing that deflects bad things.
Yeah.
Whereas this stand attracts bad things happening to you.
Huh.
So, but yeah, at the end of the part, Rai escapes and all that, and the head doctor is heading towards Josuke because he knows he has either the Rakaka branch,
yeah,
or like something equivalent to it. And he's like, okay, I'm still sitting here waiting for him. I'm going to make him to come to me. And then Rai realizes that the head doctor is heading towards him. And then the last panel is Toru. He's dancing to like the songs. And he's like, oh, it's Josuke. Interesting. So he's not pursuing, he's inviting. And then he starts singing. And then that's where we're at right now.
Ooh, I got to catch up then.
Yeah, it's definitely getting to that very end game thing. I watched a bit of X-Force videos theorizing.
Okay.
And then there's this scene in a hospital room where a guy comes in and everything, and the head doctor's like looking into the corner. Like he's just standing there. And then he's like, oh, what's going on? And then the head doctor turns around suddenly with like, almost like he's activated. So people think that Toru and the head doctor are the same person, but they're like transferring consciousness. Or that the iPod Toru is listening to is the stand, and he can switch songs, which makes the whole stand references to music come full circle. Where he can just switch stands based on the song. That'd be really sick,
actually.
I'd love that.
That'd be so cool.
Like, Crazy Train is the Calamity one, and The Wonder of You is the Appearing or whatever, or other way around.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens. And there's the whole thing where like the head doctor can literally like change reality to making it seem like someone's pursuing him. Because the guy who came to, he's like, what's going on and everything. And he's like, are you pursuing me? And he's like, I guess I'm pursuing you because I'm trying to like expose you for what you're doing here. Like you're trying to like manipulate and get this Rockaka stuff or whatever. And it's okay, you're still pursuing me. And he's like, yeah. And then he dies. By like his pimples, the pimples on his face are exchanged with the thing on your neck, in the back of your neck. Do you know what part of the body I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The thing that like the power button of the human.
Yeah.
That's exchanged for his pimples on his face, and his head falls off.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So at the beginning of part 8, I was like, where is this really going? Like, I'm not sure if I like this part. But now with this stuff on, are your Digimon's talking again? Yeah,
he is. I think they're asking to be put to bed.
Okay. But yeah, with this whole like head doctor stuff and like the rock humans on all that, I'm really loving this part now. Like it's climbing. But yeah, you need to catch up.
Yeah, it's definitely found its sort of niche and is going in a direction that's different from everything else.
Oh yeah, something like Jobin seemingly gets mortally wounded too. Like he gets a pen thing stabbed into his heart. And there's an insane amount of blood. Because he sees Toru in the trees on the Higashikata estate. And he instantly gets that thing stabbed into his heart. So that's the stand at work. So yeah. So I'm not going to ramble anymore. So just catch up.
All right. Sounds good. I will. That sounds really actually like there's a lot there that I'm like, oh man, I actually do kind of want to read that.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that marks the end of our first long distance podcast.
Yep.
We'll see how this turns out in the end. We'll see. I'm sure it'll turn out good. I've done stuff like this before. So, any final comments?
No. I'm glad we're doing this again.
Yeah, for sure. So we will see you all in 2 weeks where for our main topic, we look at Fate Zero and VR chat. You can find my VR chat video when it goes up. It'll definitely be at it'll be on at Tanner of the North on YouTube there. So you can check that out there.
Hopefully we'll be able to do this a bit earlier so we're not so tired.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's a new thing. So yeah. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time. Oh my god, you guys. Really?
You gotta put your Digimon in another room next time.
Well, no, because I have to take care of them. It's okay. I actually formally put him to bed now. It's 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, he goes to bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening.
And we'll see you next time, guys. Ciao.
Bye.